Welcome, everybody, as we're getting prepared now for what is actually round 4 of the 2017 TORC, the Off-Road Championship Series, presented by AMSOIL. We are here day 1 of 3 here at ERX Motor Park. Today is basically a makeup from the rainout back in June.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been a great weekend. It was cool to come here in the early spring and watch. And unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to run our final round, and now we get to make it up today. And the weather really wasn't in our favor this morning, but now it looks like the track crew has done a great job, and we're going to be getting underway shortly with great racing throughout the whole day today. And what catches my eye, Scott, is that 100, 200 foot mark like we've seen in the spring. It's cool. We have so many different changes that they've made since we've been here last, along with our booth. And
yeah, there's the weather kind of kicked us in the keister again this morning, so not quite as bad as it was earlier this spring, but we're pushed back the start of the event just a little bit. Looks like everything's getting taken care of. The track, I'd say by the third race, probably you're going to have perfect track conditions. And they did a lot of stuff. When they designed this track, when they built this track, they had this moment in mind. They prepared for this moment. So when it does rain, when it does dump on us, that it's going to drain through. And this track has done just that.
Yeah, the elevation changes are just crazy here at ERX, and it helps. It's in our favor, like you said. The water runs off. They have nice drainage that goes down in our pond in the front, and we're going to see, like you said, in 3 races, I think maybe a little bit sooner at some point, but you can see behind us, right up on the rise on that big left-hander, it's already dried right out. So these cars are going to get up to speed very, very fast.
Well, we're just a few minutes away from our first race, which is the light buggy division. We still have a few pieces of equipment on the track preparing for that race. And with that in mind, we'll be back in just a bit.
Pro 2 has been a dream of mine for a very long time. I'm excited to join the class full-time in 2017.
Hopefully we can get the Pro 4 out and mix it up with the Greaves and whoever else wants to come do some battle.
We're going to be getting more track in the water truck, going for championship.
At the end of the day, you want to be the guy that when everybody shows up to the racetrack, I want everybody to say, this weekend I know I have to beat Kyle Hart. And to be able to get that name, you have to go and prove yourself and win races and be the fastest guy. I'm not going to quit until I'm there.
Overall future for off-road, it looks really good. We finally have a stepping stone of young guys coming up. It's going to be one hell of a season.
Welcome everyone to ERX Motor Park in Elk River, Minnesota, and this is why we're here today. This took place in June, and it was just an ugly Sunday morning.
Yeah, you can see, look at everyone. There's the Kleiman brothers and their team, and also the Amsoil, Scott Douglas, and them just tore the awnings right apart. We had some high winds.
Yeah, there was a lot of insurance companies being called on that Monday morning. And, yeah, look at the Kleiman boys right there. Their awning was pretty much devastated. Almost every race team was affected. And
Yeah.
the whole day got called off. Once again, welcome everybody. My name is Scott Ray, along with Brent Smith. We've got Tiffany Stone down trackside. And you know what? This has been she kicked our butts again this morning. We're delayed starting racing already today.
Yeah, Mother Nature has not been on our side this year very often, but we're here. We're here at ERX, and it's amazing. It's cool to see how the track. We had a couple qualifying sessions this morning, and it dried the track right up.
Well, the thing is, there's two things we have to talk about. That are what we're hearing from the weatherman is we're going to have crazy hot, crazy humid weather conditions today, and you know. How are the guys going to be able to adapt to that? Because not only is it in their fire suits, it's their race trucks, how the race trucks handle, the engines are going to be running. How do you tune everything for that?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to jetting the carburetors differently for your – I mean, when it goes from really chilly to a hot, muggy day, it really affects, like you said, those engines. Those engines take a little bit more of a toll. You're going to see steam coming out of the top of those trucks, out of the back of the buggies throughout the day. And getting back to the weather is just – it's gonna hurt in all different ways in your body, yourself, in the car. Like you said, the fire suits, you're so warm, and mental challenge is huge here at ERX today.
And then on top of that, the weather will be affecting the track conditions. Right now we have a little bit sloppy, a little bit greasy. We were talking earlier, possibly by the second, maybe third race, we're going to have perfect track conditions, I think. But then if this heat kicks in, if this humidity kicks in, it's going to change it drastically.
Oh, yeah, it's going to dry out a lot of different areas on the track, especially the higher elevations. Down in the valleys, it's going to hold a little bit of moisture throughout the day, but with this heat, it's just going to do a lot of torture to not only the drivers, like we said, but the track and race vehicles.
And right now, it's not so bad. The humidity, it's there. You can feel it. It's a little bit on the heavy side, but is it going to stay overcast all day long and get humid, or is all of a sudden the cloud's going to break and stay humid, and all of a sudden, not only that, but the sun will be beating on them?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, but we have a great track today, and like we said, when something rains, like the Mother Nature gives us that much rain, it scares you. Even as announcers, you're like, man, can it take this? And it did. I mean, it's not like Crandon Bark River where it does take a little bit of time to let things get back together. Today, 2 qualifying sessions, and we were back at it.
Yeah. In fact, talk about track conditions. We've got Tiffany Stone, the third member of our broadcast crew, right there on top of the track. What do you got down there, Tiffany?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, exactly what you're going off of. Looking at the track down here, we're noticing that it is a little bit different than what we saw when we were here for round 3. Just like you were saying, Brent, that they added a little bit more clay and the drivers are actually noticing it. But my big concern and my big condition is when we were in Crandon just a few weeks ago and we had all this rain, and like you guys said, it can't handle all that. Is it going to be the same way here now that this track can handle it? Is it going to be where the track is going to dictate how fast and how the drivers are going to drive? What do you guys think?
Yeah, exactly her point. It's like one of those situations where the track conditions will definitely, basically they prepared with a special grooving of the tires. If the track dries out, boom, they're going to have to swap those tires out real fast last minute, put the drier set of tires on there that are grooved differently for a dry track. So right now, everyone's basically flipping a coin.
Yeah, and you're trying to plan ahead. I mean, we all look at the weather forecast, and at the end of the day, okay, we think we're going to have a great day, put on those all-terrains. Or, well, is it going to stay muddy? Let's keep the mud terrains on. So all in all, it's a big tire guess, and you're going to see it work out throughout today.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now that time. Before we can do any racing whatsoever, we have to go down to the podium. And once again, we have, not only is he a Pro 2 driver, but he's also our chaplain from the Racers for Christ, Jay Schaefer, with our opening invocation. Jay?
Good morning, everybody, and thanks again. Thank you, Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have a church service here Sunday morning at 7 right here at the grandstand. So if you're interested, come on by Sunday morning. It's always 1 hour before the drivers' meeting every race weekend. I'm privileged and honored to be able to give the invocation this morning. If everybody could please stand and bow your heads. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the rain that makes things green and beautiful. Please let it be just enough this weekend and not too much. Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful facility at ERX and all the effort and work that has gone into it, and all the effort and work that has gone into all the race teams and preparation and our safety crew. Lord, a 3-day race weekend is going to be a little bit of a challenge. It's going to be a long haul here day after day. Please keep everybody safe. Please keep everybody grounded. And thank you, Lord, for the privilege of honor of being part of the off-road family. Amen.
And now at this time, if we have everyone please remain standing, and gentlemen, please keep those hats removed, as we will be having our national anthem this morning being sung by Callie Schroer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, I can't think of a better way to welcome in a Friday morning of a 3-day race weekend than with our national anthem, and what a great job, Callie. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to ERX Motor Park, turning into quickly becoming one of the premier racetracks in the country. I know for a fact there's quite a few people back on the West Coast that are tuned in right now watching us at TORCseries.com or YouTube.com or anywhere across the world. We have got people watching us right now.
Yeah, I can't wait to get this day underway, and I have a lot of friends back at home tuning in, like Scott was saying, and you can tune in. Go to YouTube, and you can go to TORCseries.com and just sit there and chill out with us and watch the best sport in the world to me, and watch everything that goes on throughout the day. We'll keep you posted on if any more weather decides to come in our favor, and which it looks pretty dry and clear for the rest of the day.
You know, we were talking about the track conditions, and as our safety crew goes into position at their where they're supposed to be on the track. Had a chance to talk to Andrew Carlson a couple of days ago, as him and I were just kind of putzing around the racetrack on our scooters and looking at things, and they have done a lot of work to this racetrack, the surface, since we were here last. And if you remember when we go to other race facilities, in high traffic areas where there's basically a one line through a corner or something like that, you can see where the clay, the surface, kind of peels up and kind of just rolls away and exposes about 3-4 inches down. What they were noticing here, they would rip the track and then grade it over, rip it and grade it over, and all of a sudden, for some reason, they're riding in their heavy equipment, and it would sink kind of a little bit. It would drop down a couple of inches, and what they did then, they go back to that spot, dig it up, replace that hole with the dirt that they wanted in there, and then start all over again. And they did that all the way around the racetrack. Every time they felt that equipment kind of drop down a little bit, all of a sudden, they would stop, back up, dig it up, replace it with the kind of dirt that they wanted, and they did it all the way around the racetrack, especially in the corners. And he says right now, there's not one spot on that racetrack that you should be sinking in.
Yeah,
so it's very consistent. That's what they're looking for, a very consistent surface.
Yeah, it's awesome to see, and like you said, they take time. They go out of their way, and it's their racetrack and their race facility, but at the same time, they want the best possible racetrack for these drivers that come from all around the country. And you can see, like Tiffany was saying earlier, all that new clay that I was looking at earlier that they put on the track. Talking to Kyle Kleiman earlier in the drivers' meeting, he said that the track really blue grooves. I mean, like you were talking, that hard packed surface, and it's actually starting to go away really early. So it's going to be a really, I want to say like a big guess when you first start today, because in the beginning, in the spring, we were seeing things like the track was getting really loamy and heavy dirt. But now it's like, hey, if we have blue grooves, you're going to watch a lot of guys go to the outside trying to run that cushion, trying to carry their momentum on the outside. And if a guy wants to shove it, put it down underneath inside another truck or another car, you're going to have to tiptoe so you don't spin it out.
Well, some of the other changes they did, I wish I knew how many dump truck loads of dirt were brought in here Monday and Tuesday, but it was like I want to say 5 or 6 trucks, just a parade coming in, and they were dumping it on the landing and the backside of the finish line jump, and then right at the takeoff just before the TORC Amsoil arch, and then they kind of built it up a little bit. So I expect to see a lot more air off that jump right there at the Amsoil finish line, but then also they changed up the sandpit area. I call it the sandpit, but that split lane. And I believe it was on the inside lane. If you keep tight through the corner and take that inside, it's more of a dog leg angle to it. And then on top of that, there was like 5 rollers going into this final turn before the finish line. Now it's 6. So, and that kind of threw a lot of guys off. They weren't prepared for, especially the guys in UTV. They were expecting the 5, kind of double, and then single.
Planning ahead.
And all of a sudden, yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, that first time they come up for practice, boom, boom, boom. Hey, where'd that last one come from? Kind of thing, So they did a lot of changes, and every single one of them has been great. I believe they even built up the Talladega turn a little bit and made it more banking there. And there's been limited traffic on this track so far with practice and everything. Still been limited traffic, so it hasn't worked its way in yet.
Yeah, it's going to take a little time to work the track in. Like, we didn't have any qualifying for the pros other than pro stock UTV and pro mod. So, like Scott was saying, we're going to have a little bit of track time, and you'll watch as these light buggies come out and the single buggies come out. It's going to start packing that track in, and it's going to be interesting. I love when Mother Nature, in a way, throws this at us, where yet we're still racing, but we're not canceling the day. We're here to race, and it gives a guy a different perspective. They go out there, okay, is the track going to change, or is it going to stay muddy and soupy? Me, I think it's cool. It levels everybody's playing field out, and it gives everyone a square chance of what they want to do today, and that is win. If you're in a car or truck, you're out there to win. I don't care who you are.
Well, we've raced here twice now, and you can see right there is a great shot of staging back in the woods, and I'll say it again, that's going to be the most picturesque staging lane, I think, of all of motorsports right there, a little trail through the woods, and how pretty is that? But as I started to say that, it's gonna come around. I mean, it's had a chance. I've done a couple laps around this on a scooter this week, and it's fantastic. It's every jump is blind. You can't see it from how it is from the hill or the grandstands or from where we're at. But just to be able to walk the track or take your scooter on there, every jump is blind. You have no clue what's going on that other side or how you're going to land your truck or buggy. You have no idea.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for spotters up in the tower above us, half the time if somebody crashes out in front of them, when it's a blind exit like that, it's kind of scary. But that's why we're racing short course off-roads. The elevations are awesome here, and you just have to walk the track. A lot of guys, you'll see it in our sport. They walk the track, see where they built up the dirt or see where they took some dirt away. Like you said, they put that dog leg back there. They added a jump. You have to be up on your game if you want to win here at ERX.
You know, as we get ready for our first race this morning, it's the light buggy division. We have 35 cars here. I will run down through the lineup real quick. I don't want to miss a name when they come out of the racetrack because we'll be going green probably right away as soon as they hit that racetrack. On the front row, we've got Todd Lemke in the 109. Corey Holchers in the 100. Sean Springstro in the 117 starts third. Alongside him, Derek Tilkins in the 121. Tyler Weens starts fifth in the 195. Eric Lafreniere will start sixth in the 113. In the 120s, Tracy Fleischman along with Dylan Marquardt in the 122. Starting that fifth row, Greg Stingle on the inside. Bo Ambos outside in the 188, which I thought he sold his car. Huh. Okay. Then in row 6, we got Rob Keelan in the 151 and Jake Nelson outside of him in row 6 in the 141. Connor and Colin Schulz take up row 7 in the 129 and 177. Chris Vandenelzen starts 15th to 166. Hunter Tingley in the 170 will start 16th. And that's only halfway through the field. Okay, the second half. We've got Tom Benevenuti in the 156, along with Scott Booth in the 134, and Kyle Patnaud in the 174. In row 10, we've got Kai Groff in the 137, Chad Moigenberg in the 159, and Adam Lepic will start 22nd in the 118, along with McKenna Envik, starts 23rd in the 173. Stephanie Padel is out there in the 144, starting 24th. Brandon Groff starts 25th in the 112. In that 26th position to be Ryan Joss in the 147. Alongside him, Pete Delory in the 199. Barry Wallen starts 28th in the 142 along with James Thompson starting 29th in the 145. William Huntley in the 111 will start 30th. Along with Allison Wandasiga, it starts 31st in the 197. Jordan Hawkers is out there in the 110 starting 32nd. In 33rd, 34th, and 35th is Logan Islo. Jason Sakovitz and Ryan Trudeau. He'll round out the field in 35th. And, boy, if I'm 28th, 29th, 30th, I'm back. I'm wondering right now to myself kind of how thick are the tear-offs on their helmets.
Can I see through my tear-offs?
Yeah, Coke bottle helmet vision kind of thing. But, no, it looks like it's clearing up a little bit, getting a little bit brighter. We've got Double O, our sound man up here, extraordinaire. Believe it or not, in his chicken suit. Double O's up here. Really, he came up here early this morning in the pouring rain. Absolutely was drenched when he got here. And he was like hating life. Opened up all his equipment cases, started setting things up. And he realized, I don't even know why he has a chicken suit. But there's a dry chicken suit inside one of his cases. And he went, oh, hell yeah, it's dry. Whipped off his clothes, jumped in that chicken suit, and there he stands right here running Mr. DJ, Double O, chicken suit. Chicken Double O, not Chicken George, Chicken Double O. Is your mom watching? You got to be making her proud right now. Another great shot of staging. You can see the boys are preparing, is getting a thumbs up. You see one of the guys, the officials running down the middle, getting a thumbs up. Okay, boys, let's fire up. Now, with the light buggy division, very economical to get involved in. But again, the technology involved isn't that great either because it's very simplistic, very easy to work on. It's getting harder to find parts, so they have to basically fabricate them because they're, everything is stock. VW components as far as suspension, motor, air-cooled. Talk a little bit of what's going on with these things.
Yeah, they're limited travel. They don't have these 18, 20 inches of shock travel like we do in the pro trucks and super stock truck. We have probably, I would say, 6 to 8 inches of travel in the front and probably 10 to 12 inches of travel in the rear, but they land hard.
We need to get a spotter's wave going up there, kind of thing, going back and forth. There's a great shot from the backside of the racetrack. I believe that's outside of the Talladega turn, right before the Amzo. Oh no, that's back by the sand pit. Yeah, that's over by the woods. There's a great viewing area over there.
Yeah, they have all their shade, and I mean today the shade isn't really much, but the last time we were out here, we were giving those guys a bunch of grief, and they're just sitting there. I don't know if they can hear us very well over there.
No, they've got a brand new sound system.
Oh, really?
Installed here this week, right here in front of us, as well as back in the woods. So there's a couple of speakers over there, right? And yeah, actually our TV compound, as you're looking at the screen right now, is to the left of where the camera's at, and that's where Ricky Johnson and what's that, Robbie Floyd? Yeah, that's it. Robbie Floyd. They're over there inside a little trailer with one little tiny air conditioner. They'll be doing the broadcast for TV over there this afternoon. But we want to thank everybody that's here and also tuned in, watching us right now. It looks like we've got a pace truck and moving, and Richie Kuloff is now starting to get to work finally, as he's the pilot behind the wheel of our Escondido Toyota.
"35 cars coming out at you." And like you were talking earlier, Scott, the tear-offs are huge. And we know that the track got worked in a little bit earlier today. But at the same time, these cars are limited horsepower. They can only go so fast when it's dry. So you take all the rain and Mother Nature, what they've given us today, it's going to dog those cars down. Plus, it's going to be a big, big challenge when it comes to tear-offs.
Yeah, I just got a message from Ryan Mottinger. He's actually over there, I guess, in the woods, watching us over there. But it's kind of neat looking at all these cars that come on the racetrack. They all got different ways of doing things and all got different ways of thinking, okay, how can I keep the mud out of my vision, out of the cockpit? And you see some guys just basically worry about the helmet themselves, put a visor on the helmet possibly, or kind of tape it off in a way. Or they just actually kind of tape off the car, the windshield area.
Yeah, they do. They'll take duct tape and only leave their cells probably, 3 inches tall by about 15, 16 inches wide. So I always was wondering, I'm like, what happens if a big chunk comes right up in your face? You lose a lot of viewing. So it's a big challenge here, and with this rain and the weather we've had, this track is ready to rock, and we're going to go underway here shortly with 1600 light buggy.
You see that angle right there, that's that tight hairpin turn, and right now they're working their way through that sand pit area, which doesn't look all that bad right now. And I think if it stays wet, the sand will kind of hold up a little bit, but once it starts to dry off, it's just like a beach sand. It's just gonna kind of like fall apart underneath your feet. And that's when these things really struggle, when that sand starts to get pushed around and they start dragging the belly pan. And the UTVs, same thing. I mean, they don't have a whole lot of travel, and they'll actually drag the belly pans through that sand pit area.
You can see where you were talking about earlier, Scott, with all that extra roller they put in, and it's cool to watch the trucks and the cars dance through it, especially the Pro Mod and Pro Stock UTVs, because they are carrying so much speed down that hill. It is just crazy to watch how those cars will buck back and forth.
So they'll be taking the green flag as they come out of this corner right here. As Faye Stesney is right at the top of that first jump. Green flag is out underway. The first race out of a 3-day race weekend. And just like that, Todd Lemke jumps out front.
Yeah, you can see Lemke's holding on to the bottom right by the K-rail, trying to stay out of the slop. As you can see, they're struggling to catch a little bit more speed. As you can see, there's the orange car already. Stingle trying to make his way on the inside.
Oh, man, he's going to go, from about 7th? Oh, look like he's going to make 3 passes right there coming into the corner. You can see how a little bit more severe, I'd call it severe, but a little bit more sharp of a dogleg that is on the inside than it was in the past.
See, first and second are starting to walk away a little bit from our 3rd and 4th place competition, and you can see it's a great view out front in that clean air. You're not having to roll through all those tear-offs, either a mud muncher or your basic tear-offs. You want to make sure you have enough here at ERX.
Yeah, right now you got Todd Lemke up front, Sean Springstrow, Eric Law front 8, Derek Tilkins and Dylan Marquardt all in the top 5. Stingle up to that 6th spot. And just like that, the 117 Springstro shoots the inside. It almost looks like Lemke may have a problem. But man, Springstro shot him a cannon on that front stretch.
Yeah, it looks like Lemke pushed a little bit wide. Once you get into that sloppy mess outside of the race groove, you can lose as many as 6, 7 spots at a time. There's another good look at the split lanes as they come back towards the Talladega turn.
Boy, right now I don't want to say it's a one-lane track, because I don't think there is one lane even built up yet, or kind of worn in. But if you get too far outside and inside, it definitely it's like dropping an anchor. It just sucks you right down.
Yeah, you have to be precise. You have to be very, very careful. If you're going to make a pass, we talk about it all year long. If you're going to make a pass, you have to set it up way earlier, and then you add the rain and the track conditions. You have to set that thing up 2 laps before.
So Tilken's up in that 3rd spot, Lafreniere 4th, Marquardt 5th, Stingle 6th, Jake Nelson, Colin Schulz, Tyler Weens, and Tracy Fleischman all in the top 10. Kyle Patnaugh back in the 11th spot, Scott Booth falling back to 13th, Connor Schulz 14th, and Brandon Groff in that 15th spot.
You can see a lot of the buggies going to that inside on that dog leg. We have 1, maybe 2 cars out of that group coming through.
Yeah, I think right now they're obviously trying to find the line that'll give them the most speed, but it's almost like they are in a survival mode for at least the first half of this race.
Yeah, with 35 cars out on the track, I mean, 4 tires apiece, those guys, they're working it in. Even though they don't have a lot of horsepower, they're still packing the track in. And like we said earlier, as the day goes on, it's going to get, wow, you can see there's a car right before the starting line there, just pushed right through a big mud puddle.
Sean Springstro still has the lead. Lemke, Tilkens, Lafreniere, and Marquardt still all in the top 5. Expect to see a little bit more speed in the second half. In fact, they're getting a little bit quicker each time right now as that track starts to kind of cure itself, I guess you'd say.
That is going to get so interesting late in the day. I just love it when we put just a random obstacle inside a great track like ERX. Like we talked earlier, you either go outside or you go inside.
Contact made with Tilkens and Lemke. Tilkens, I think, was prepared for Lemke to check up that much going into the corner and climb the left rear tire. But they're both back underway. It looks like no harm, no foul, at least as of yet. But again, did that cause any kind of damage that could kind of jump up and grab these guys later in the race?
Yeah, when you're bumping their open wheel cars like this, if you tag into someone, it's gonna wreck parts. I mean, you're gonna bend a tie rod, and that'll adjust your steering either for the good or the bad. And normally it's for the bad, and especially in these conditions, it really don't matter if your car is perfectly set up right. It's who can get their car to the finish line first in this crazy, like combination of the clay and the sand here with a little bit of water on top.
Some tight racing going on right there. Almost come to a stop to get the cars to rotate. And back underway, and basically looks like they're just muscling each other, trying to get into that sand pit first.
Boy, those are some big berms on the inside and on the outside, those banks. You do not want to tag one of those.
Yeah, in fact, yesterday in practice, Andrew Carlson kind of high-sided it right at the very end, coming out of the sand pit. He high-sided it, got hung up. And I just know he was kicking himself in the keister about that one. But the competition yellow is up. as they cross the Amsoil finish line with Springstrode, Tilkens 1 and 2, Nelson, Lemke 3 and 4, and Lafreniere in the top 5. And the Toyota Escondido pace truck pulls out of the track. Richie Kuloff behind the wheel, and you know what? I know the track conditions are like we've said that word, track conditions, so much this morning. The cars don't look that bad. It looks like what we normally see at other racetracks where the clay sticks to the cars and just drags them down with that weight. That it looks like there's just enough sand in this stuff that it just kind of like is falling off.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's attaching to the cars that bad, like you said, and we can gain anywhere from 300 to 500 pounds on a lot of these race cars, and it's a big number to say, but I've had opportunity to race a lot of times in the mud back in Anago. I mean, it was every weekend we were there. It would just be a slot mess, but you come to every race weekend preparing yourself, like we said with tires. You have to prepare yourself for the unknown, and like we see with these jumps in the new sections through the split lanes, that is why we call it racing, and that's why we want to see our best drivers perform and come out during a track like this. And with a facility like this, it's a driver's course.
So our flagman, Faye Stetsny, is working his way over to the starting line now. And we should be going back to green flag racing this time by. Get everybody back bumper to bumper, single file line. I kind of look at the racetrack, I don't see anybody that's has dropped out yet. So we still got a full field, it looks like.
Yeah, once again, you're going to see those 2 white Amsoil flags in front of you, and our leader can take his time. In between either one of those white flags, he can take off, so pay attention.
And we're back under green flag racing. Springstrode, Tilkens, Jake Nelson, 1, 2, and 3, jockeying for position. Springstrode with a nice jump at the green flag.
It'll be interesting to see who goes inside, who goes outside. Our second place contender, Tilkens, goes to the bottom. So we'll see what line is best here in these not muddy, but yet drying out, coming up conditions, right?
Conditions, yeah. Yeah, Tilkens makes a great run. They're side by side for the lead. Here they come up towards Amsoil finish line. Still side by side. On the inside is Tilkens. And as they cross that line, he was scored the leader. And it looks like he will make the pass, and yeah, Tilkens now running up front.
Yeah, you can see he worked on that pass back in the split lanes, trying to see an opening, and Tilkens did the right thing. He got to the bottom, made it work, and now you just have to set your sights on the finish line. You have to put your game back together once you're out in the lead and you have that fresh air. So pick the best lanes that you have figured out throughout the beginning parts of these races.
How about that? Springstrode comes right back to the inside. Oh, man. Nice racing. Now he'll go to the downside. Springstrode will take the outside line. Tilkens to the inside.
Yeah, both those lines are drying up very, very nicely as we're still almost side by side coming through the rollers.
It was almost like a wake-up call for Springstrode. But Tilkens got by relatively easily. And kind of caught, I think, Sean off guard a little bit, but he came right back. In a very methodical pass. Kind of knew it was going to happen, and he planned it ahead of time.
it does help that you have spotters. At the same time, they're not telling you how to drive the car, but the 117, you just get in a zone. When you're running out front, a lot of guys will say, and a lot of racers will say, if you're in second place, it's a lot easier than leading. And I respect that, and I agree with it, because when you get out in the lead, you're constantly trying to listen to your spotter. How many seconds? How many car lengths do I have to try to set your sights on finishing this race up front?
It almost looked like Lemke, Marquardt, and Schultz got hung up in that sloppy stuff on the outside. Meanwhile, Stingle goes by, and he's moved up a couple of positions.
Yeah, Stingle, usually we see him creeping up in that top two about this time. So track conditions are definitely playing a big factor in today's race. You can see Tilkens trying to work the inside. Don't want to overdrive going into that corner, because then you push a little bit wide like he did, and on your exit, it hurts you.
And Nelson now goes the inside. Nelson goes around Tilkens. So Nelson running that second spot. Springsteen has a little bit, probably the biggest lead he's had the entire race, running up front.
Yeah, now with that battle for second, our leader is really, really hoping that they start battling back and forth, because it gives our leader a little chance to spread out that lead.
What we had 5 or 6 lead changes in this race. Nice competitive race going on this afternoon, or this morning, I should say.
Springstro still staying on to the bottom. White flag coming out this time by. White flag one more time around here at ERX in round 4. You can still see a lot of standing water on the right side of your screen. As we get into other classes, they're going to be forced to work in that other area of the track.
Nelson's on a run. He has made up 3-4 car lengths on our leader right now, heading to that back section.
Is there enough time?
This is going to come down to that split lane. Nelson right on the back bump of our leader.
Oh, it looked like Nelson might have missed a shift. You seen for a second his car kind of hesitated, and then you seen a little bit of dirt coming out of the rear tires.
That might have been just enough to help Springstro, as it looks like they're coming up on lap traffic, but they should cross the line before our leaders get to the line. And there's a checkered flag in hand. Across the line is going to be Sean Springstro with the win. Jake Nelson second. Derek Tilkens back in third. Todd Lemke and Greg Stingle in the top 5. Well, we're going to take a quick break and be right back with our top 3 finishers at the podium.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection. Trailblade tires, the weapon of choice for wherever you want to go.
designed for your journey.
Well, there was one car that had issues. Is it 199 or 195? I can't quite tell from this angle. Well, it's
Tyler Wines.
Tyler Weens.
Yep.
Oh, what a tough break, because he was actually running on that last lap, so something must have happened in that final turn. Tough break for that young man. He's got a very majestic beard.
I know. I seen you guys earlier this week talking back and forth.
There's our top 3 finishers making their way to the podium. Not in a real big hurry, you know.
No, through those muddy conditions, they're all like, we're going to take our time up there.
They don't look all that
off.
bad.
No, they do. They look really, really clean, actually. There's another great view of the racetrack and sitting down in the inside that pond. And as you can see, that lighter colored dirt, it's already starting to dry off nicely on the inside. And as we get more races throughout the day, it's going to create 2-lane wide racing, at least in some areas like Talladega Turn. We're going to have maybe a 3 wide, hopefully.
It's amazing how green everything turns after a rain like this. It's just absolutely stunningly beautiful here.
Yeah, this whole facility and the drive-in, it was awesome. It was great to see. And once you came in here, like you said, you guys don't see that out west, do you? A lot of green grass.
No.
You guys see brown and dirt. We get a little bit of everything here up north.
You want to pay the high water bills? Yeah, you can have a green grass.
I can't imagine. You might as well just paint your lawns.
That's been done. Seriously, it's been done. Our next race coming up after this will be Sportsman UTV. Couple of cool names in that race. We have got a Greaves in Sportsman UTV. Kyle Greaves. Turning into
Kyle,
quite the fabricator himself, you know, young guy.
Now he's getting a chance to get behind the wheel, so it's great. I mean, these fabricators are not only just fabricators. These guys understand how these trucks work, and they create the truck. They build the trucks from the ground up and the cars, and they know what it takes to make that car fast. It just sometimes takes a lot of time, and it's cool. Kyle Greaves and his dad, Kurt Greaves, they're very, very smart people, and they work all together with a lot of different UTV classes, and it's cool. It's made the class grow in so many different ways.
Yeah, I see some smiles down there at the podium already. The guys are kind of like, I think they're coming down a little bit, coming down after that race, and now they're getting their faces wiped off, and making sure their hats are on right, the right size.
Yeah, I do see a little bit of mud on a couple on the back.
Well, let's now meet our top 3 finishers one more time here this morning. In the light buggy division, finishing third, the 121 of Derek Tilkins.
Nice run out there, Derek. It seems like you're constantly moving up. We're remaking up round 4 right now, but you still have too more rounds. Keep going up there. Your face looks a little bit different than where you should be. Talk to me about it.
It's all right. I mean, you're racing not so nice track, I'll put it that way. Right now it's muddy and we're under horsepowered, and just try to keep it clean and stay out of the snot, and that's all you can do out here. I got to thank Levine's Ice, Advanced Construction, Badger Race Rehabs, Madman Race Chassis, and Pro World Race Parts. Thanks.
Nice job today. Hop up on 3.
Taking that second place there for a while, Jake. When you got shot out of a cannon, made the pass for the lead, I thought this was going to be your day. Taking second, the 141 of Jake Nelson.
Jake, you may have taken second today, but you're still in the point leads. Going in, we still have 2 more rounds. Game plan is obviously going to be a little bit different because the track right now is pretty hard out there. What are you thinking about going into Saturday and Sunday?
I just want to keep it clean, keep up with Derek, and
and Todd and Greg and Sean and all the fast guys, and be safe, but I need good finishes yet. I'd like to thank Fast and Alder Islander, Glenn Matthews, Mark Steinhardt, Matt Kinner, 920 Designs, Hazelhurst Pub, Monocle's Pizza, Badger Racetraps, and my friends and family for helping out, and shout out to all my friends watching, and my wife as well. Thank you.
Nice job today. Congratulations.
And taking the win, without a doubt, the cleanest fire suit out of this race, the 117 of Sean Springstrow.
Congratulations. It has an honor to give this to you. Highest podium of the season right now, and I've always asked everybody in one word, how are you feeling?
Oh, this is just awesome. Cannot believe it. I'd like to thank my mom and dad, all my sponsors, Van Zeeland's Auto Care, Clink Tow Motors, Wentz Trackside, and everybody else that makes this possible.
Well, you've done it here, taken first place, especially on a rough track this morning. Hop up on number one. One more round of applause for your top 3 light buggy finishers. Back up to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Tiff. And once again, look at that. You know what? You guys could maybe wash the cars a little bit maybe this morning, but you're done for the day. How about that? That's one way of looking at it. Congratulations to our top 3 finishers, Sean Springstrow, Jake Nelson, and Derek Tilkins.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to start Sportsman UTV. And on the starting grid, on the pole, the number 725 of Gabe Johnson. Alongside of Gabe, Vince Lamondola in the 711. In the third spot, Stinson Robinson in the 745. Starting alongside of Stinson in the 713, Jacob Rosales in the fifth spot. Kyle Venon in the 733. In the 735, Amanda Peterson in the sixth spot. Starting in the seventh spot, Nathan Slatinsky in the 756. Michael Trotter in the 777. Nick Garby in the 761. Kyle Greaves in the 10th spot in the 734. Alec Hoffman in the 727. Jason Plouffe in the 752 in the 12th position. Elwood Naimi Jr. in the 785. In the 14th spot, Luke Stubbs in the 722. And rounding out our 16-car field, Trevor Bushmaker in the 703.
I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed right now. They're just fast right off the box. I mean, these guys pull out of the staging, took the green flag, and they're real quick already.
Yeah, you can see very, very, very much so. The leader has just opened up a huge, huge gap.
Yeah, Vince Lamondola just like a rocket right from the drop of the green flag. Jacob Rosales, Gabe Johnson, Kyle Veeden, Nathan Slatinsky, all in the top 5. And those are the names you've been hearing about all season long.
Yeah, and you can see, like I said earlier, everything's starting to push just a little bit farther out. That cushion is going to work its way out to 2, 3, maybe 4 cars wide.
I've been very impressed with the young man running in second place right now, Jacob Rosales. He's been, for a young man on that racetrack all season long, he's been doing very, very well. And to be running in second this early in the race, I think that you're going to see that kid work his way through the ranks. He won't be in Sportsman UTV for very long.
No, and he's very, very consistent. He knows what it takes to run up front into this UTV class, in the Sportsman UTV class, actually. And like we say, they're coming down the finish line jump, heading back towards what will be the starting line throughout today.
In fact, Rosales is right now pressuring our leader, Lamondola. And this is where it gets tricky, because right now it is kind of a one-lane track. And if you come up onto the leader, he's going to be running
they
that
hit!
lane.
Oh,
hard hit!
Contact!
They're both still running in position, but man, some pretty severe contact.
I don't see any damage done to the top 2 cars, but
all
they kind of bumped tire to tire.
Yeah, all that really did is let Gabe Johnson a chance to kind of reel in the top 2.
Yeah, Gabe Johnson's like, come on, guys, get together again. Help me out just a little bit as they're rotating it back towards the bottom. Lamondola making it very, very difficult for himself to try to get through that final turn, pushing very, very wide. And as you can see, Rosales trying in the 713 to reel in our leader.
Yeah, he's right to the back. You know, he's obviously quicker in the front stretch here in front of the crowd than Lamondola. In fact, he's ducking to the inside. He's going to try the inside line, go to the left-hand turn. Had to check up a little bit as our leader protected that line.
Yeah, he got one heck of a run right in front of us there going into the back. Says, oh, we got a car over. Looks like Gabe Johnson in the 725 is upside down.
Our third place Polaris of Gabe Johnson upside down right at the inside of the hairpin turn. Back up front, we've got still that battle going on. It looks like we're going full course yellow. As Faye Stetsny is throwing that yellow flag, safety trucks headed in that direction. And we've got, yeah, there's a shot of Johnson right now. It wasn't that severe of a rollover. It's almost like it just kind of babied rollover on its own. So I don't see the tires like pointed in different directions, like there's any suspension damage.
Yeah, it looks like all the wheels, all the tie rods look like they're fine. The tires look pretty straight from here, and now they parked him right flat up on his lid. So track crew, very, very good track crew that we have here in the TORC series. Not only trying to get him over quick, but making sure he's all right.
Yeah, they're getting him over. It's so... So the TORC safety crew back on its, got Gabe Johnson back on its wheels.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get it fired up and walk away. He does.
Drive away.
That goes to show you how safe these cars are and well
he came
built.
off on the same on the lead lap, so he doesn't go a lap down. So he's still technically still in this race, even though he doesn't have the competition yellow to fall back on. As far as actually, he does. Well, we still have the comp yellow, don't we?
Yeah, we should. I don't know if they're not gonna call this one the competition yellow. I wouldn't think this early because they've. Is it?
Yeah, we haven't heard a call yet. Sometimes if a full course yellow comes out right around the time when a competition yellow would come out, they would count that as such. But it looks looks like Gabe Johnson's dropped the window net, pulled off the track,
and now he's gonna walk away. Or maybe he's trying to get it fixed. Maybe it just come unhooked.
Oh yeah, the window net
bent or something.
Yeah, and technically speaking, he's still on the lead lap as well. So. Yeah, you can't race with your window net down. That's #1 no-no.
Safety first. Yeah, I think there's something else wrong with Gabe Johnson's truck. Car. He just tried to go around and kind of fishtailed it and pushed him right inside the berm. You can see.
I wonder if maybe he's lost front wheel drive. And he looks like he's going to call it a day. Yeah, he can't turn. There's something going on. He's having issues with steering. Green flag is out. We're back underway with Vince Lamandola and Jacob Rosales 1 and 2.
We'll see if Jacob can catch back up to our leader and try to make a move like he did earlier, trying to work that outside, inside. As you can see, the track drying out, and we're going into the split lanes.
Yeah, Nathan Slatinsky's now running that third spot.
Lamandola going through the rollers, heading towards what will be the finish line throughout this race weekend, and looks like, yeah, he's fishtailing going up. Jacob trying to run down our leader.
Kyle Greaves up to that 4th spot. He passed 2 cars right at the bottom of the hill before the finish line. And it looks like we do have a car slowing as it comes up to the Amsoil finish line. But meanwhile, up front, you got a nice battle going on with our top 4, top 5. So it looks like Stetson Robinson's now getting into the mix of things as well.
Looks like Rosales got a little run in the front of the crowd, going in the back. Let's see if he goes outside. Both our leader and our second place driver going to the inside of the split lanes.
Kyle Greaves was the only one that went to the inside as he's back in that 4th spot. He's got nothing to lose. Go for it. You know, there's nobody in front of him at that point. He's got clean track at least for that one section. And it certainly didn't hurt him. And there's the competition yellow.
Yeah, this is pretty cool for Kyle Greaves. He's going to get the reset in the 4th position, and he's got Slatinsky in the 3rd spot, Rosales in the 2nd, and Lamandola in the lead. So his 2nd weekend out, he's getting a nice challenge, and it's going to be interesting to see what he can do in this 2nd half.
Started back in that 10th spot, right now running up in 4th. So nice run for him. It's going to be interesting because Trevor Bushmaker is in that red and gray a red and silver Yamaha, and he has been fast all season long, and he's riding the back bumper now of Kyle Greaves. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens at the drop of this green flag. Yeah, Bushmakers are way back in that 16 spot.
You can see our Pace UTV driver Richie Kulov leading our cars back to the starting line. And once again, we have those 2 white flags in front of you, and our leader, Lamandola, he can take off at any time at the start of that flag, or he can drag it out and wait until that final flag. It's an advantage for the leader to get in the mental state of all the other drivers.
Richie Kulov is off the track in that 2017 Yamaha YXZ Pace vehicle. Coming to green this time around. Oh, and he checks up right inside the zone. He holds him all the way to that last flag. So Lamandola kind of played a little bit of trickery right there. Slowed down a little bit, held him to that last flag, the last minute, and then accelerated.
Yeah, it worked in his advantage very, very well, and that's why we do the competition cautions, and that's why it's an advantage to be out front.
Here comes Bushmaker to the inside. He's got to run. As it looks like Greaves is being held up a little bit, coming around that turn back in that 3rd and 4th spot. Bushmaker passes 2 cars in the last little bit. So Bushmaker now to that 3rd spot.
Lamandola still out in the lead, coming in front of the crowd. Rosales in 2nd, Bushmaker in 3rd, Satinsky in 4th, Kyle Greaves back in the 5th spot in the 734.
Rosales just for a moment took a peek to the inside. Our leader drifts out a little bit. Rosales ducks inside, still nothing there. And it's a nice 4-car battle right now up front.
You can see our 3rd place driver, Trevor, is trying to work that inside on the split lanes, and he's going to make it work.
He slides wide, a little puff of smoke, though he's starting to slow. Was slow coming out of the corner, and here comes Greaves now.
That is a great shot. As you can see, it's so blindsided on all these jumps like we talked earlier. It just looks like they're just dropping off into no man's land.
And now Greaves battling for that 3rd spot now with Bushmaker. Took a peek to the inside, nothing was there, kind of checked up a little bit, back about 2 car lengths.
This is where we've seen Rosales time and after again. He's trying to make a run, going in that back section, trying to go outside, inside, trying to get our leader to push a little wide as they both go to the outside of the split lanes.
Greaves pulls up along the inside of Bushmaker to that corner. They're now in different split lanes. Greaves is the inside, Bushmaker to the outside. Our leader's coming into that final delegate turn right before the finish line. Bushmaker still has 3rd. Greaves now comes inside. Kyle Greaves up into 3rd.
That's a very, very nice pass for Kyle Greaves. Great to see that boy up in the top 3.
Man, Bushmaker just dives into that corner, trying to outbreak him into the turn. Just wasn't quite close enough to pull it off.
Our leader's still maintaining 2, maybe 3 car lengths, heading back towards the split lanes. Kyle Greaves still running in the 3rd spot.
Yeah, our leader Lamandola seems just to have enough speed, enough handling to stay in front. and Rosales is trying everything. There's one little spot of this racetrack. He's obviously quicker than our leader, but just can't seem to be quite close enough to pull off the pass. Meanwhile, Bushmaker is just over the edge and is driving as a white flag comes out, trying to find a way to get back around Kyle Greaves. Now watch him going to that big turn, left-hander, and just comes sailing into the corner. Bushmaker makes up about 4 or 5 car lengths and does it fast. And how he doesn't hit Greaves going to the corner, I'll never know, but man, is he just outbreaking everybody going to the corner. And here he comes, Bushmaker to the inside. In that right-hand turn, Bushmaker will retake third, but meanwhile up front, Rosales is making a last-ditch effort in the white flag lap. Tries to duck to the inside, pivots the car, still not able to make the pass.
Wow, it's going to be interesting to see through these rollers after the split lanes. How far will Jacob Rosales drive it in before the finish line?
I just don't think he's close enough.
Yeah, he's running out of time.
Big puff of smoke on a Bushmaker right at the turn, but he'll hang on for third as our top 3 will cross the line. Vince Lamodillo will take the win. Jacob Rosales second, and Trevor Bushmaker in that third spot. Well, we'll be right back after this with a few words of our sponsors with our podium interviews.
Cooper tires on the ground, go round and round, round and round, round and round. Tires on the car are warranty. Now what you need? The tires on the car help keep you safe. They grip the road when you hit the brakes.
Your tires matter, so count on Cooper, an American company since 1914.
Tires on the ground, go round and round.
Well, what's on the track right now, race fans, is Johnny Greaves is out there with I believe it's a contest winner on the social medias. And Johnny Greaves is giving that winner a ride around ERX Motor Park in a brand new Yamaha YXE 1000 race car designed and built by the Greaves team.
One of many.
Yeah, I saw the contest, and he did an Instagram, I think it was, Johnny did, and something about a contest, and I go, do I need to bring my helmet to ERX? He never responded.
I know, let the announcers go out there, right?
He never responded, so I guess that was a big no, negatory.
No, it's pretty cool as a fan. You get to sign up and get to come to ERX. You not only get to come and watch all these race cars in these trucks, you get to ride side by side with Johnny Greaves, one of the best racers around, and it is cool to see. And as he's going through those split lanes, so that guy or gal gets a great perspective and what these guys actually see. We talk about the blind exits on every one of these jumps, and it is just amazing to put that in your visual when you're racing in these car classes, in the truck classes. So viewing is a big, big factor here at ERX.
Yeah, I think the Greaves team spent majority of the winter working on Yamaha YXEs, not only for themselves but also for, I want to say, 23 or 24 other guys.
Yeah, it was
with cages
ridiculous.
and suspension components, things along that line. Yeah, they spent a lot of time working with Yamaha. There's a shot of our spotters tower, and I'm not sure if you can see us. There's one arm. Yeah, there's my arm. There's Double O's arm. Chicken Double O. That's where we're announcing from right there. And are you going to put some real clothes on today, Double O? No?
No real clothes for Double O today. He's rocking it out all day long.
Yeah, at least he took the chicken head hoodie off.
Yeah, you get a little warm. You should cover that head a little bit.
That's the first chicken I ever saw with a beard. So congratulations to the winner of the ride with Johnny Greaves in that Yamaha YXE 1000. I don't care who you are. That's pretty cool.
Oh, it's awesome. You get to see the track like I was explaining earlier. You can watch it from the hill, but when you're out there, that is way, way different.
Well, now that's time. Let's go meet our top three finishers of the Sportsman UTV world. In that third spot, he passed more cars than anybody else in the entire race, finishing third, the 703, Trevor Bushmaker.
Trevor, you have done it. You were fast. Pretty much you took off, never looked back, and it got you up here to third place podium. How difficult is that track comparative to round 3?
I wasn't here on round 3, but you basically had 2 lines all race. If you got in the fluff, like I did a few times, you lost a spot. Hung in, kept it tight, and battled with Kyle for the last podium. Pulled it out.
We were just talking that you weren't here in round 3 when we were going over there, so my apologies on that. But yes, you've done it great. You were fast. Who do you want to thank today?
Beaver Machine, Dan Beaver Equipment, Dexter for the spotter, Greaves, Power Sports 1, family, everybody else that I'm forgetting. Thank you.
Nice job today. Way to be fast.
And finishing at second spot, this young man has been a sign of consistency race after race the entire 2017 season. Another podium for the 713 of Jacob Rosales.
Jacob, you have been consistent this entire year, this entire season. Coming here, seeing your face week after week, it was completely different today. What was going on in your mind?
Nothing much. It was the same thing. We came out here to win, made a new line on the wall, so that was exciting. But other than that, it was just fun. I'd like to thank SOB Bill, Jersey Mike's, my family, my parents, and anybody else I forgot.
Nice job today. Hop up on 2.
And taking that top spot, starts on the front row, but man, oh man, what a battle he had all race long. The 711 of Vince Lamendola.
Vince, this is for you. Congratulations. It is going to be a long weekend starting here, redoing round 4. 2 more going into this weekend. What is your spotter telling you, and what are you gearing up for Saturday and Sunday?
he's just telling me, race my race, keep your line straight, keep it in tight, and, you know, just do my best.
Well, you've done it here. Hop up on number 1. Been quite a battle for these 3 guys. One more round of applause. And Scott, wasn't that a great race?
Yes, it was. Thanks a lot, Tiffany. And one more time, congratulations to Vince Lamandola, Jacob Rosales, and Trevor Bushmaker. Nice job, guys. Well, they don't only race off-road and snowmobiles here at ERX. They do some other really cool things. And they were explaining this to me, Taylor was explaining this to me earlier in the week. Day of the Dozer, September 30th. Children can ride with a trained professional in a dump trucks, dozers, and other big equipment. It's kind of like the world's largest Tonka toy playground. So that's going to be here September 30th. Make sure to come out and check it out. And what a great fundraiser. What a great way to introduce children to the big world of big trucks and big equipment. And this is what ERX is known for right here. Grassroots Snowcross Series. Season starts December 14th, and they basically follow around the National Series as well. But full slate, entire season of grassroots snowcross racing. Some of the coolest things I've ever seen up close and personal. I used to think that these freestyle motocross guys out there in Southern California were like crazy and wild and, you know, nutheads. Then I went to my first snowcross race. No, these guys are running on sleds that are twice the weight of those motorcycles and doing the same thing. So you want to see some really cool racing, some nutty riders on snowmobiles, make sure and check out an ERX Grassroots Snowcross Series. Race fans, here's our next race of the morning. It's the 1600 single buggy division. A little bit more speed, not so much of a restrictor plate, a little bit more suspension, and probably the most equal class of racing in the entire series. Here's our lineup. On the front row, the 343 of Ryan Meininger alongside the 395 of Matt Gerald. Row 2 inside, Dylan Parsons, the 319 of Guy Sinkowski, and the 337. Row 3 inside, Craig Padel in the 300 and Jason Flugran in the 356. Row 4 inside, Jeff Paszczynski, 324 and the 328 of Dave Luger. In row 5 inside, from Las Vegas, Nevada, the 312 of Bruce Fraley. Alongside of him, the always fast 352 of Tony Keepers. And in that 6th row inside, our current points leader, the 379 of Jeff Villamore. Outside of Jeff, the 321 of Jeff Sokovitz. And the fat back row, J.D. Cord in the 369 and Paul Hayward in the 315. Very competitive, very equally matched up. And there's a lot of fast guys. I can't think of one driver in this field that can't win it.
No, and you see Matt Gerald starting up in the front. He was having great runs at Crandon, as well as Dylan Parsons, and all the way back to Keepers, Villamere, Fraley, Luger. They're all going to come towards the front, so stay tuned. This track is drying out nicely here at ERX, and these cars are going to get up and go here shortly.
The Toyota Escondido pace truck on the track. Watch for the lights to go off. And that'll be the sign for sure. We're going green flag racing next time, this time by. Boy, would this be a shot in the arm for Matt Gerald. Right now starting the front row in that 395. He's due for a good run. He's always fast in that first half, but something always has been happening this season, the second half. They're lined up, tight. Green flag is out, we're underway. Dylan Parsons trying to make an inside pass, coming into turn number 1.
Yeah, he just ran out of track on that bottom.
And it looks like Meininger with the hole shot. And Matt Gerald falls back to 5th.
Wow, we got contact. The top two get into each other. Parsons looks like he's going to get the lead here coming through the split lanes. Parsons in the lead now. Moninger goes back to third.
Yeah, Dylan Parsons is first across the line. Jason Flugrat, Ryan Moninger, Dave Luger, and Matt Gerald all in the top 5 as they complete lap number 1.
It's a good look at Parsons running out front in that 319.
Fraley trying to work his way forward. It gets a little love tap from behind. From Padel, I believe it was. Just another car with a little puff of smoke. Looks like Luger. And it looks like Flugrat now has the lead. Jason, the 356 now running up front. And Luger now in the second. Fraley trying to get to that top 4, battling with Matt Gerald. Fraley goes a little wide. Here comes Padel one more time. Padel goes inside of Fraley. He'll move up 1 spot. And our leader over-rotates. Our leader over-rotates. Collects second and third. Somehow he'll hang on to the lead.
You can see you get out of that race line and you just go up into that greasy, mucky, sandy surface, and you can see he's retaking over back, and David Luger in the 328. Now going to the front.
So it's Fraley back and forth. Padel in 5th. Keepers moved up into that 6th spot. Matt Gerald back to 7th. Ryan Moninger 8th. Jeff Pashinsky and Jeff Sakovitz all round up the top 10.
Luger going to the bottom of our leader. Luger running out of track, and he's showing smoke.
He's been showing smoke since the first lap.
Just wonder if it's just an overflow or something. I can't imagine it getting, I mean, the track is not that muddy anymore, so I would like to see every time he enters that corner and exit just blowing smoke really, really bad out of that 328.
No, I think we're looking at darn near perfect track conditions right now. Some spots in the turns where the high side is still real loamy. But other than that, I think we're looking at pretty good track conditions.
Jason Fluger in the 356 still out front. Tony Keepers in the 352, making his way up into the 6th spot. That might have been for 5th.
He's actually up into 4th.
Yeah, our timing and scoring is just a little bit different.
Lagging a little bit, yeah. So Keepers finds himself in a very familiar spot right behind Bruce Fraley. Fraley running back in that 3rd spot.
Yeah, you can see Fraley coming through the rhythm section towards Talladega turn. He just setting that car in as a competition caution comes out. Halfway point of this race.
This has been a very, very quick event so far with Jason Flugrant David Luger, Bruce Fraley, 1, 2, and 3. Tony Keepers, Dylan Parsons in the top 5. Craig Padel, Matt Gerald, Ryan Bonninger through 8. Jeff Sokovich and J.D. Corin round out the top 10. Yeah, there's consistent smoke now coming out of Dave Luger. It's just not appearing in the corners or when he breaks going into the turns. It's consistent.
Yeah, it really coming out of the bottom of that car.
One thing you don't want to see in an air-cooled VW motor is that.
Yeah.
Or any more for that
Not
matter,
good.
but not good in one of these.
There's a good look again at the split lanes. You can see the berms on each inside and outside of those turns in the dog legs, like Scott was saying earlier. And it's going to get very tricky as they enter that left-hand turn and then come through. It's going to make a driver either choose high or low line. So it gives it a lot of a mix-up. Throughout the season, we've seen a lot of different racetracks and facilities, but when we come to ERX, everybody knows that split lane's there, and it's not only just a split lane of each of the same track. It is sandy soil, and it just deteriorates as the day goes on.
We got Gatlin Keener up here in the booth. You're kind of wondering what that's all about. He's hanging out with Chicken 00. Coming to green this time around. And we're back underway. This is going to be interesting. Ken Pflugrad hang out of that lead as they're real tight. Bumper to bumper coming into turn 1. Our leader and Dave Luger take those separate lanes coming into that turn, right? Talladega turn before the finish line.
Pflugrad, what a race he has put together today, trying to protect that inside line as David Luger trying to run the bottom.
Man, Pflugrad making that car real wide. He's all over.
He's seen that push him into that water.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a, I think that was a spotter's move. Somehow Fraley falls back to 4th.
Yeah, Fraley got caught sleeping. Keepers ran right to the bottom of him, right in front of the crowd, right after the tabletop. Our leader pushes really wide once again. They will be side by side coming through the split lanes on exit.
Luger's going to have the lead when he comes into the corner. Yes, he does. And Keepers comes right with him.
Yeah, Keepers wasn't losing out on that opportunity as they cross where the finish line will be. And Keepers is not done yet. You can see the speed that he's pulled together here in this second half of the race. Oh!
Bruce Fraley goes inside of Pflugrad. They make contact. Pflugrad again turns right.
Yeah, Pflugrad, he turned a little bit out of the way and collected Bruce Fraley as Fraley moves into the 3rd spot. Oh, Pflugrad just nailed Bruce Fraley. So a little bit of back and forth, and Pflugrad might have did a little bit to Bruce Fraley. Fraley made him pay.
There might be a discussion in the pits after this race about that little maneuver. But any chance that Fraley had at tracking down our leaders basically gone away. And the black flag just came out. The black flag came out for Jason Pflugrad, and that was fast. We haven't seen that black flag a whole lot this year in any race in any class.
Yeah, and then, what, a half a lap? They made their decision because they seen it. He came right into him.
There was no double guessing that one. They knew right away.
Now we'll see. Are they going to make contact? He knows he's already got the black flag. As Bruce Fraley trying to work the inside.
Meanwhile, Keepers and Luger have pulled away from everybody.
Yeah, Fraley's trying to go outside, inside, and does make it happen. Fraley moves into the 3rd spot.
White flag is coming out as they cross the Amsoil finish line for Dave Luger, Tony Keepers. Dylan Parsons, nice run by that young man. And you know what? Pflugerad has yet to pull into the pits to serve the black flag.
Yeah, you wonder if he's going to come in. I mean, it's a white flag lap. What do? I mean, you have to stop and go, and hopefully Pflugerad doesn't hurt himself and lose points, and he could be DQ'd totally from today's events if he doesn't serve that flag.
There's still a shot for 2nd and 3rd here, a battle going on. 1 straightaway, 1 turn remaining between Parsons and Fraley. As the checkered flag is coming out for Dave Luger, he'll take the win. 2nd to Tony Keepers, and it looks like Dylan Parsons, a young man, is going to finish on the podium with Bruce Fraley back in that 4th spot. And you know what? You just hate to see when one driver has such a huge effect on the finishing order of about 3-4 other cars. And that's what we just saw.
Yeah, you did see that. You've seen that with Bruce Fraley. And I don't know if it was anyone's fault when Bruce got into him and Pflugerad came back and he kind of gave too hard of a love tap going, and the black flag came out, and I don't know if he served his penalty. All right, we're going to step aside here for a short few moments. We'll be back right after this.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Rugged radios. Work, race, play.
Hey Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep the radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged radios, the authority in communications.
You can see our drivers heading back to the podium. Welcome back. We're just after the 1600 buggy race, and our top 3 finishers heading towards the podium.
Yeah, you can see how the track is really starting to come around. Even though there's equipment on there, they're going to take all that fluff, push it down below, and back into the racing line, and then pack it down. And we're going to have, like I thought, 3rd race in.
Yeah, you called it. Yeah, you can see him working really, really nicely on the split lanes, and you could see a lot of those buggy drivers, especially in the light buggy, how that bottom of the track would come in between the wheelbase of the cars and they get caught, like Scott was talking earlier about the skid plates, taking out that dirt, and that's why they want to make that track smooth and get it ready for our next race coming up.
So the sun is out, the clouds are the typical summer clouds, I guess you'd say. I look behind us, and there's the grill's fired up. It looks like burgers and brats and hot dogs are back there. The summer heat, it's now here. So I remind everybody, please keep hydrated today. Keep drinking that water. So it looks like we got our top 3 finishers down there at the podium, and it looks like one of them's kind of breathing heavy a little bit, like he actually did a workout. Yeah. How did you know that's okay? Yeah. Let's now meet our top 3 finishers in the single buggy division. Finishing at 3rd spot, the 319. Nice run by that young man right there, Dylan Parsons.
Dylan, this entire year has been consistency, and you've been doing that. You've been working through everything. Do you think that you have a right-up setup and combination right now to finish off the last 2 rounds?
I'm hoping so. I mean, I'm a couple points out of 4th now, and I should be close. I had tough luck at Crandon. We didn't finish both days, and that kind of hurt. But I'd like to thank my dad, my spotter Johnny, everyone that helps out at home, MTech, and I want to congratulate Dave Luger on the great run today. He got here at midnight last night. He was putting the engine together yesterday morning already, and a big shout out to Rob Kinner for that too. Thank you.
Nice job today.
And taking that 2nd spot, man, what a battle these boys had up front. But running now in that 352, taking 2nd, Tony Keepers.
Tony, you've taken 2nd today, but you're still in the point lead going into the last 2 rounds. Taking this point lead, having a little bit more over Bruce, how does that change that mindset? Because you know he's coming for you Saturday and Sunday.
It doesn't change anything. If you don't race to win every time, then you shouldn't be out here, in my opinion. So it's good to know we got a points lead, but I thought about that in Crandon, and it hurt me. So I'm not thinking about this weekend. We're just going to take every race. We're going to win. That's the goal. So that's what we're going for. Points lead is just a bonus, I guess. I got to thank all my guys out here, Rick and Susie. I got my beautiful girlfriend, Lacey, is always cooking for us. Christy, too, cooking for us this weekend. I got to thank Jeff, Lane, and Jesse back home. They help out in the garage a bunch, so I appreciate it, guys. All my sponsors, Argon Lumber and Supply, J&J Insulators. That rebound's getting me. Sam's Concrete. Elite Automotive, Forest Granite Works, K2 Pro Science. Thank you guys a bunch.
Nice run today.
And taking the win. Yeah, he's still wiping the sweat off his forehead. This boy had a workout. Taking the win, the 328, Dave Luger.
Dave, I know it's been a long weekend already for you. Just had a moment to chat over here. Crandon wasn't the best. You had to change and fix a few things. Explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, I threw a rod out of my motor Friday night at Crandon. The Parsons team borrowed me their spare, and we ran that out of oil on Saturday. So it was kind of a basket case, but they got it together and said, you got to run it for this weekend. So I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate it, guys, and I can't thank those guys enough. I wouldn't be here without them. And for Scott, I hate cardio, so this is the only cardio I get.
Nice job. Hop up on number 1. One more round of applause for these top finishers. Great battle between 1, 2, and 3. Up to you, Scott.
Thanks, Tiffany. And Dave, I've been to your Facebook page. You look like you're really in shape in some of those pictures where you're out there with no shirt on flexing for the cameras. Nice job, though, guys. Congratulations. Our top 3 finishers once again, Dylan Parsons, Tony Keepers, and Dave Luger. You know, Brent, we talk a lot about the future of this sport and watching some of the younger kids work their way up from the carts up into the buggies and then someday into the trucks. And we're pretty much in the middle of that right now. We're seeing these young guys and working their way into the pro classes right now.
Yeah, we see a lot, and we see with the UTVs and the Pro Mod, Pro Stock, we always look at that. Like Johnny was saying in his interviews, we see a building future for this sport, and a lot of it is a lot of our younger crowd is going in. I mean, Johnny, Scott Douglas, all of them aren't going to be around forever, and it's good to see. And what you're going to see here shortly is just amazing.
Well, that part's not good to see, but the good part's the young ones coming up. In fact, about the young ones, let's take this out, about the young guns of short course off-road racing.
A new generation is rising, an inevitable force primed to lay claim to what is theirs. This is Young Guns.
You know what's kind of neat about that is it's actually a documentary series, much like we had about 5-6 years ago, broadcasting this. But it's all about the young drivers. And the first episode was aired this last Wednesday, and it was pretty cool. I mean,
it's really cool.
You got to go to TORCseries.com or YouTube.com/TORC, or actually on the TORC Facebook page. But it's on. It's a 7-episode series. All through October and November. You got to check it out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, all these episodes on the episode 1, like they said, we already had September 20th. Episode 2, October 4th at 7 p.m. Central Time. And episode 3, 4, 5, and 6 all throughout November. November 1st, the 15th, all at 7 p.m. Central Time. November 29th, episode 6. And the show, episode 7, December 6th, all at 7 p.m. Central Time. So, like Scott was saying, tune in. Go to TORCseries.com, YouTube.com/TORC, and it's another show. It's not just a show of where these guys are going. It's showing where they started, where they're heading. And like I said, it's always nice to have stepping stones in our sport.
Let's get on trackside with Tiffany Stone. She's got something pretty cool for us. What do you got, Tiff?
You're right, guys. I had a chance to watch that Young Guns, and it was pretty amazing. So I'm excited for the rest of that. Thanks for letting me know, guys. But if you want to watch this and you want to see everything else that we have done throughout the entire season, see everything that is on our social media, make sure to follow us. You can follow all of us at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, of course. So if you go to Instagram, it's TORC Off-Road. Facebook is facebook.com/TORC. And then also, if you want to use the hashtags, it's TORC17 and then TORC Off-Road. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Tiff. In fact, like right now, nothing's really going on. We're getting ready for our next race, which is the first truck race of the day. Grab your cell phone. Take pictures of your girlfriend, your wife, your boyfriend, your husband, the kids, the racetrack, the area, the facility, whatever it may be. Tag it. Tag TORC Off-Road. Tag it with hashtag, I should say, #, for some of us old guys. TORC Off-Road, TORC17. Go to the Facebook page, post it on there. And then what's kind of cool about this as well is you'll receive notices. If you're following us on Facebook, you'll get notices or reminders of these episodes that come out on the Young Guns. So like about 3-4 days beforehand, you'll get notices about, hey, don't forget to tune in.
Yeah, so it's worth sending in your pictures, sending in your information. Yeah. Go grab some people out in the crowd, take some pictures, send them to us. We'd love to.
Involved with this. So
be like, you have to.
yeah, he got bit by the bug. He came down to Chicago, first race of this year, and hung out for a couple of days. And yeah, that was pretty neat to hang out with him. I've known him for jeepers. I want to say close to 20 years. So you know what? What's kind of cool about these new Pro 2 tire rules is that now they've got like a tire wars going on, and a tire battle, and every manufacturer is keeping score now, like they always have, but more so now in the Pro 2 ranks. They still keep score in Pro 4 and Pro Light, but what's really neat about it is one tire company in particular has kind of moved up in with the race team and has been following this driver all through the ranks. And I mean, you know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Oh yeah, I mean, Keegan Kincaid, he's been around forever. Cooper Tires, it's huge. They're a good sponsor in our TORC program and the facilities around all the Midwest, and it's a tire war. Like Scott was saying, you have DOT tires in the Pro 2 class now, trying to make the funding a little bit cheaper to come out and race, and trying to make Pro 2 great again and be better off in the future. I mean, these tires are not cheap, as you all know, and when Cooper Tires came in, they're just one of the tire companies trying to battle. Like you were saying, who has the better tire combination, who has the softer compound, who has a tire that's going to hold up in all these conditions. And not only that, we have all these different tire manufacturers, you can go right on the shelf and go buy the exact tires these guys are racing.
Let's go up. You know what? Let's go and check out behind the scenes of Cooper Tire.
In TORC, we race 900 horsepower trucks, and you'd think everything from the transmission to the engine is the most crucial, but honestly it comes down to the tires, because if you can't put it to the ground, then all that's worthless. And Cooper Tire helps us do that every day, whether we're on the racetrack, whether we're off the racetrack.
Now in the Pro 2 class, we run a DOT tire, so it's made to hit the highway, maybe do a little bit of climbing through the hills. Here we have to push it to its absolute max. So when we groove the tires, what we're doing is we're adding as much forward bite and braking traction as we possibly can. They help us with the compound of the tire and letting us know what the tire can take so that I don't take too much away from the tire when we do groove them.
We get these tires from Cooper, and there's a couple of different compounds, and they're handmade just for TORC racing. We cut them different ways, whatever the track needs. It's what gives us the bite and makes the truck go. You've got the horsepower, you got to have the right bite, you have to have the right groove. But if we don't hook it up on the track, it's all worthless.
I'm hands-on with my program, and Cooper Tire's been right there next to me. They're hands-on with their equipment and their tires, and helps us excel to the next level.
But at the end of the day, when you set that thing on the ground, the last piece of that puzzle is your tires, and that's what's going to help push you to success.
Working with Cooper engineers, we learn here they can put on the street as well. And the relationship they have with TORC and the commitment they have to short course racing is second to none.
Oh, there's our next race of the afternoon right there, the Super Stock Club. In fact, our pace vehicle is moving. And how cool is that? I'm kind of anxious. This is more times than not my favorite race of the day. Super competitive, lots of contact, best of buddies off the track, but the biggest enemies on the track. And I mean it, enemies, man.
It's a war.
Yeah, and you can see, you know, the fenders are beat up, the doors are beat up, some are running steel panels, some are running fiberglass. But you could tell with going to the last weekend of the summer, all these trucks have been through a war.
Oh, they have been, and throughout we've seen like Gatlin Keener's truck. Justin Keener is piloting in that today, and You can see he had a bad crash here at ERX in the spring, so it's cool to see that 1947 Ford out in the Cooper tires like we were talking earlier. And I love this class. I had the opportunity to run in this class in 2012, and it is great. It's not only a good driver's class where you have to really push these things to the edge, they have some suspension. So you have 12 inches in the front, 12 in the rear, and these things do handle better than what they look out on the track.
So we have 13 entries. Here's our lineup on the front row. We got the 829 of Troy Shaden, alongside of him, the 807 of Mike Funk. Row 2 inside, the 886 of Justin Keener. How did that truck make it back on the track? Because the Keeners were saying that truck was wadded up, done, totaled after the race here in June. But here it is on the track. Alongside of Justin Keener is Ben Holcher in the 844. Row 3 inside is 837 of Tom Graff. Outside, Kenny Playton, 812. Row 4 inside, Kyle Cooper in the 873 and Nick Bing in the 833. Row 5 inside, current points leader, Joey Machosik in the 851. Alongside Machosik, Nick Visser in the 880. In row 6 inside, Sam Jacques in the 808, Jamie Kleikamp in the 825. And in the 13th spot, Tyler Playman in the 814. I was going to say, Jamie's not here. Nope, not here. I don't care what everybody says, this is going to be a good race. Lots of hitting and banging. There we go. Green flag, we're underway.
You can see every one of those trucks trying to tiptoe away around, trying to stay out of that muddy surface.
Troy Shaden with an early jump has the lead about 3, maybe 4 car lengths over Funk. They take the split lane, opposite directions.
Both those guys up in the front, the 1 and 2, Troy Shaden, Michael Funk, all very, very fast trucks this year and been really consistent. See those trucks just swapping back and forth, fishtailing as they climb the finish hill jump.
Looked like Groff had some sort of issues with slowing coming up the hill, has fallen back. Now is the last truck on the track.
Here comes Michael Funk. Funk looking to the bottom. Justin Keener in that 3rd spot. Michael Funk trying to hunt down our leader.
Kind of surprised, 2 laps and nothing's happened. This is amazing.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, what's that about? Once again, Shaden's looking very strong running up front. Man, I'm really impressed right now with Justin Keener. And Shaden, as soon as I mention his name, he gets squirrely ahead up the hill. He'll lose 1, maybe 2 spots. No, he doesn't. He'll hang on to 2nd.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Justin can try to make that pass work. He pushes really, really wide. Troy Shaden in that 829. Still running in the 2nd spot.
And Nick Bing quietly working his way through the field. Right now in that 4th spot, a little far back from 3rd, but still running in 4th. Just again, very stealth, very quietly working his way forward.
You can see Funk goes to the outside, Troy Shaden the inside. We'll see on exit who is ahead of who heading into the rhythm section.
Both trucks pile drive their way through that rhythm section. And Justin Keener's making up ground on our leaders. The more they battle up front, the better chance he has to really win. That's exactly what he's doing. Mike Funk goes inside. He'll take the lead. Shaden goes outside. And here comes Keener now right behind.
Shaden coming right back underneath Funk. Retakes over the lead. Troy Shaden, the 829. As they head back to the split lanes, both Funk and Shaden and Keener go to the outside.
All our top 4 trucks are doing that same line through there.
And like you said earlier, Nick's just picking away a little bit by a little bit. And remember, we have that competition caution.
You know, one thing I have noticed that we've seen all season long that we're not seeing right now, Troy Shaden and smoke.
Yeah, usually he does. He has a little bit of a mist of smoke throughout the whole day. Both Funk and Keener running that bottom line, trying to get the most grip out of the bottom of the racetrack. Keener trying to work Michael Funk. Gets hard on the binders.
Yeah, Funk did a good job of protecting that inside line, and Keener had to check up. And Nick Bing still out there fishing, still reeling them in a little bit at a time.
Troy Shaden goes to the inside. Funk and Keener and Nick Bing go to the outside.
Boy, 1, 2, and 3 all plastered together right now, bumper to bumper, and there's the competition yellow. Justin, it looked like he tried to make a run right at the last minute to get into second before the comp yellow, but ran out of time. As our top 5 is Mike Funk, Nick Bing. Wait a minute. No, it's Troy Shaden, Mike Funk, Justin Keener, and let's see, Nick Bing in the top 4. 5th spot, I believe, is Machosik.
Yeah, Ben Holger right behind Machosik. Boy, Machosik had a great start to the season. I remember he was throwing a lot of race wins together, and he's just been struggling.
He had a really good,
yeah.
I think it was a 5 straight, I think it was.
Yep, it was. It was 5 straight, and he's just been struggling. He's been in that little slump, and we'll see in that second half if he can carry his momentum up and get into that top 3.
Man, I'm amazed. It's been rather uneventful the first half. It's been a while since we've seen Troy Shaden in that top spot. I mean, he's always a front runner, but it seems like there's been a lot of mechanical issues the last couple of races.
It'll be interesting to see if Justin Keener can work his way up into that second spot and try to give Troy Shaden a run. It just seems like maybe they're geared just a little bit different, and it looks like Funk pulls them in the back section. Then Keener in the front section will, kind of like we've seen, got his door slammed just a little bit, but has the speed to run with those guys.
Well, he's got to keep in mind, he hasn't been doing this for very long.
No.
He's basically just jumped in that truck recently, and he doesn't have a whole lot of wheel time. Green flag is out one more time, and Troy Shaden gets a nice jump. And Machosik making a run a little bit at Nick Bing.
Here comes Justin Keener. Keener looking to the bottom. Funk slams the door once again on Justin Keener. Troy Shaden pushing really wide, coming towards the split lanes. Shaden goes to the bottom. Funk, Keener, and Bing go to the outside.
Yeah, Shaden scrubbed off a lot of speed through that corner. He swung wide. Probably should have stayed to the outside line, but chose to go inside again, which scrubbed off that much more speed. And Keener's in the second. Justin Keener in the second, and he's tracking down our leader, Mike Funk.
Yeah, Justin Keener has one heck of a line coming through the rhythm section. Actually is doubling that second half of the rhythm section. So he's found his groove. We'll see if he can hunt down Funk, and they're about side by side.
And Shaden over rotates, and he collects the rest of the field. So that gaps off big time. first and second to all the way back to third. There's a big gap now between second and third.
Joey Machosic getting in that top 3, trying to work his way up in there.
They're side by side going, our leaders. Keener has the outside line. He may come out of the corner with the lead. They're still side by side into that sand pit. This is going to be good. This is what we've been waiting for.
Watch Justin Keener as he comes through the rhythm section. See if he can still double that outside, and he does. Trying to get an outside-inside move on Funk.
He's able to square off that corner earlier than Funk, but scrubbed off a little speed, lost it.
A little too much.
Yeah, he lost a little momentum coming out of that corner. Was right on the back bumper, now about 2 truck lengths back. Maybe 3, he's falling back even a little bit more now.
Yeah, Justin just needs to settle down just a little bit and pick out his lines that got him up to Funk.
What he's got to do now is not overdrive. That'll slow him down more than anything if he overdrives it. And he's got his brother Gatlin upstairs right now spotting for him. So yeah, he just came to a complete stop.
Yeah, I think he stalled out the truck.
Justin Keener just stalled the truck in that tight left-hand turn. He'll lose 1, 2 spots for sure. Cannot get that truck fired up. He's drifting down the hill, and it looked like he just got fired up now, and he'll lose 3 spots.
Yeah, he threw it in that back turn, and anytime you throw a truck that hard and you come almost to a complete stop, it just dogs the motor out, and it unfortunately shut right off.
So I'll change things up as Joey Machosic now running that second spot. They'll move Kenny Platten up into third, Holcher fourth. So tough break. You know what? That was a great learning lesson. He's been watching. That's why I've been watching him in these tight corners, and he's been going really, really tight to the point where he almost has to stop, turn, and then take off again. Yeah, he's not carrying the speed all the way through.
And you can see a good look at the Cooper tires of Justin Keener in the 886 just sitting there.
Another tough break.
Michael Funk in that TNT rescue truck still out front.
White flag is out for our leader, Mike Funk. Joey Machosic in that second spot, and you know what? This is really going to make it hard now on the points for Nick Bing. Joey Machosic currently our points leader. Nick Bing is second in points. And this is going to spread out the points chase a little bit more going into tomorrow and Sunday.
Yeah, Joey didn't have that great of a run in the beginning parts of this race, and after that mandatory competition caution, he started to move his way up. Had some people drop out in front of him, but that's why we call it off-road racing, and trying to hunt down Funk, but it's just not going to have enough time.
There's the checkered flag as Mike Funk takes the win. Machosic second. And as I'm looking at timing and scoring on our lineups, it actually has Machosic as their points leader. But I'm being shown by a few different people that it's Nick Bing actually has them. Sit down, Dad. 3, 5, 2,
7.
25. 4 points. 43 points. We're going to take a quick break before our top 3 make it to the podium. We'll be right back after this.
For 41 years, winning drivers in all forms of motorsports have relied on VP Racing Fuels for leading-edge technology to optimize performance and power them to the winner's circle. Now you can get the same benefit with VP Mattatips, formulated for gas and diesel engines. It's race fuel technology for your daily driver and the perfect way to clean out your fuel system and put the power back in your drive. VP Mattatips are available at your local AutoZone store. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com.
Designed for your journey.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Well, there's a shot. Let's see who that is. Is that Nick Bing?
Yeah, that's Nick Bing.
That's not good. He's got
snowplow
front tires. He's cross-eyed.
Yeah, the tie rods are definitely done on the front end of that truck.
Yeah, and I was given the hand signals by his dad down there in the hill that it actually is Nick Bing with the points lead, but this is going to kind of make that a little bit tighter with Machosik on the podium. He's one of those guys that's fun to watch, really is. But man, the way he worked his way through the field early on in the race, the first half.
Yeah, it looked like he had something for him at the end, and fortunately the tie rods are not with him anymore. And there's our top three making their way to the podium, up the stairs, across the K-rail.
That looks like the Funk Boys right there, I believe, climbing the stairs right now, because the little one's going to be in a mini truck later on today. Yeah, we're going to have to big out the big guns to get Nick off the track. Wow, he's just all messed up right now.
Yeah, it's never a good day when the forklift has to come out and lift up your truck and bring it back to the pits.
I think Nick's off the track. Is that him right there? Not even wanting to look at his truck. I'm not going to look. I can't bear the sight. Man, all things considered, what we've seen this entire summer, that was a pretty uneventful super stock truck race.
Yeah.
You know?
Normally we're going back and forth and who hit who and who took out one another, and today was all around a very, very clean super stock truck race.
So you can see after that race, there's a little bit more track prep going on right now. We got the CAT equipment out there. Is our next race? It's going to be the super buggies, more open wheel cars. I believe it's the last buggy race of the day, but that's what I like to call the Formula One of off-road: open wheels, unlimited suspension, unlimited horsepower, within certain parameters. Yeah, they're really turning that track over. They're going down a good 6-8 inches at least, and turning it over, and it's in prime shape right now.
Yeah, that last race was very fun to watch, and you've seen how the trucks. I mean, yeah, you get out of the line 2-3 west out. I mean, you still have to put your truck together, and today the track is coming together very, very nicely after all that rain.
Well, let's now meet our top 3 finishers in Super Stock. In that third spot, started 6th, moved up to being the top 3, the A12 of Kenny Platten.
Kenny, you're coming off a win from Crandon. This is a completely different track. Did you want to change the setup knowing that you came off a win, or did you want to pretty much set it up for what the weather was going to be here?
Well, we made a change from Crandon, but I think we might go back to our setup. It was working pretty good at Crandon, and I think it'll work good here too. I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Operating Engineers, Local 139, Ultra Wheels, them things are badass. Haystack, truck looks good. Home Team for all my apparel. Legend Erecting, Andy Shock Service, he's got them things dialed right in. And Engine Bob for the motor. And Pete for all the parts. Thanks, Brandon.
Well, you've done it here once again. Can't wait to see that setup change up tomorrow. Hop up on 3.
And this young driver right here is making that points chase a little bit tighter, taking that second spot. He passed more trucks than anybody else here today. The A51 of Joey Machosik.
Joey, after the comp yellow, it seemed like you pumped it up a little bit. You went for it. You were taking all the right moves. Going for that and knowing that the points chase is closing up a little bit, what's the mindset going into the last 2 rounds here at ERX?
Just win them all. No, you gotta stay calm out there. It's easy to get ahead of yourself and overdrive it. But I want to thank my sponsors. Maxxis hooked us up with some new tires before this race. They work great. My sister, Grand Theft Lauren Photography. She does a lot for us, for the team. Thank you very much, Lauren. Todd builds my motor, Gary Bellman Grading, and Ray from Amsoil.
You've done it here again. Can't wait to see the last 2 rounds. Hop up on 2.
And taking that top spot, he's done it one more time, battling back and forth, first and second, third, second, first, and he made it to the top spot. One of the coolest pictures I think I've seen so far today is when your young one, Little Funk, met you out there on that racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, taking the win here, the 807 of Mike Funk.
Mike, today is the first day of a long weekend. You've done it correctly here. You've taken the top spot. Your spotter, after you had the second place go down, what was he telling you to the last few rounds? Or I'm sorry, the last few laps?
Just keep working on the corners, getting through them clean the way I need to, and yep, he kept me going. Yep, I'd like to thank all my sponsors, all my family and friends, TNT Rescue, Corey Oil, D&D Millwork, and the rest of them on there. But yeah, just family and friends that support me and come all the way up here. Thanks.
Well, you've done it here. You got 2 more rounds. Hop up on 1. It's been a great day. 1-2 Maxxis. Back up to you guys.
Well, one more time, congratulations, guys. Once again, taking that top spot in the podium, we've got Mike Funk, Joey Machosik, and Kenny Platten. Congratulations, boys. We'll be right back after this with a few more words from the people behind the scenes that get us out here on this racetrack.
Trailblade Tires, the weapon of choice for wherever you want to go.
Cooper tires on the ground go round and round, round and round, round and round. Tires on the car are warranty.
tires matter, so count on Cooper, an American company since 1914.
Tires on the ground go round and round.
Rugged Radios. Work, race, play.
Hey, Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep the radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at ERX Motorsports Park, and once again, everyone, thanks for joining us today. And it takes a lot to get a facility going and prep everything and get it to a great shape track like we've seen already great racing today. And really quick here, we have a short video of all the track prep of what goes on and the features and the preview of ERX Motorsports. So take a look at this.
Hey, I'm Scott Douglas. We're here at ERX for the final rounds of the TORC series, and I want to take you guys around for a lap. Okay, we're pacing down here. We're about to take the green flag 2 by 2, going up through the gears, going to be in third gear, hitting this tabletop right here. Now there's a dish right when you land. You want to clear this tabletop, land into this dish if you can. And you have a blind right-hander, turn 1 you're coming up on. You want to be on the outside and then duck down to the apex. And we're in third gear, we're hard on it. And we're accelerating out about here. We're getting into high gear, and now this is a really mellow hill jump, but you fly a long ways and you land pretty hard. So we're wide open off this thing. You can't see where you're doing. Now you have to get ready for this short little jump, which is something new they put in. We jump into this hard, and then we give it an aggressive squirt and hard on the brakes. Right about here, downshift to third, downshift to second, rotate the truck right here. Now you have a decision. You're right or left split lane, and it's depending on which one's better. We're going on the right one right here, the outside. When it's clean and fast, this is the fastest way whenever it's not rutted. And we'll go through here, going up through the gears once again. So we fly off of here and we land right about here, and they've added a couple more whoops. So we come into these whoops as hard as we can. Double, you'll almost double the second one, and then you set the car and turn it, and you hit that third one sideways and hope that there's not a big rut where you're gonna hook. Now you got to get a clean exit out of here. You kind of go high, you start diving down in the midsection of the corner, and your third gear running up as fast as you can on this thing, and right at the top, you either breathe it or brake check it just a tick to get your front end down. If not, you're going to be nose high like I did in practice. Really accelerate as hard as you can on this little short chute. It's these little sections you make the time up. You start setting the truck downshift to second, and you throw the car right about here. You'll throw it, you'll be about midline in the corner, because we want to run and hit this tabletop as fast as we can, because once again, we want to clear that dip right there. So there's a lap around ERX, and I'm happy to take you around it.
There's a good look at our double lanes, our split lanes here at ERX, and Scott Douglas was doing a great job explaining how the track comes together and how the jumps just fall off, and that is a big part of today's racing and throughout this weekend is who's going to go up on the top side, who's going to go on the bottom side. And like Scott said again, which line is the quickest and which line doesn't have all the ruts in it.
Well, race fans, without a doubt, this guy right here has been quietly behind the scenes, cough, cough, for the last couple of years. But basically this weekend, you guys put a big-time stamp on it as being the Kenda Tire Finals here at ERX Motor Park. I got Kenda Mike up here as we've been talking. You've been up here a couple times this summer, and what's it like this weekend having all the executives here, your name out there on the billboard, your name on all the advertising, the Kenda Tire Finals?
We're very excited, Scott. Thanks again for having us up here. We've got a whole bunch of stuff going on this weekend besides just the racing, which is going to be awesome. We've got 75 points up for grabs today, so anything can happen. We've got Pro 2 guys. We've got Pro Light guys, Sean Morris, Chad Rayford, Mike Vanden Heuvel, Mark Peterson. We got a lot of great guys out there. Cody Conrad got his truck back together.
Oh, he did?
Yep.
Oh, that thing was a mess yesterday. Wow.
That was. But TORC is such a good family. They all pulled together, helped Cody out, and we're going to get him on the track. And it looks like the weather's going to cooperate. We've got 2 contest winners here that are joining us. We had a sweepstakes, and the 2 winners are here. They just got done with their tour of the TV trailer, and they're going to get a ride in the pace truck. So we got a lot of stuff going on.
Some of the stuff that you haven't been able to do yet over the years.
Exactly.
Well, did you ever imagine when you came into the sport a couple years ago that you'd be sitting here looking at Kenda Tires, and some of your guys are in a shot for a championship. Some of the guys have a legitimate shot at race wins. Did you ever dream that you'd be in this kind of a position right now?
Absolutely. I mean, you always want to dream for that. You always work towards that goal. We had a dinner last night with all the drivers,
which I wasn't invited to.
You weren't. I thought you were busy, but it was funny. I mean, all that same stuff was all discussed last night. Look how far that we've come. We've all been involved in this for many years, but now I'm finally in a position where I can impact it at a much higher level and get us involved and really tell everybody what Kenda is all about.
Well, on normal race weekends, you're here at the track, you're taking care of business. You're even on some teams, you're even grooving the tires yourself. And then come Tuesday morning, you go back to the office, and you basically have to report to your uppers.
Yep.
On how things went, what was like. Well, now they're here.
Yes.
Any extra pressure with that?
No. We're a small band of Indians at Kenda, and we're all in each other's sandboxes. And I've got a great bunch of guys that I work with. There's very few layers. There's my boss, Brandon Stotzenberg, is here this weekend, the VP of Automotive, and then there's Jimmy Yang, the owner of our company, and that's it. So there's not a lot of layers to us. But
it's kind of neat as I'm looking at you right now. And normally I would see somebody in your position with a little bit of sweat here in the eyebrow with all this pressure going on and all the executives and all the – basically you got a spoon in every bowl, I think, and you're stirring it all here this weekend. But you're having fun, just
Absolutely.
like normal.
Absolutely.
You're just a goofy little, having a great time out here this weekend.
Hey, Scott, you and I are birds of a feather. Let's just admit it. I mean, we thrive under pressure, and we love being in the spotlight and hanging out. And it's such a great venue that Chris has here. I think he's really said to everyone with what he's done here that he's in it to win it and in for the long run. And I think he does a great job, and his volunteer staff works so hard. Exactly. We're gonna have some really great racing. That's what I'm really excited about. Andrew and Mikey Vanden Heuvel battling it out.
I was just gonna go. Okay, can I put you on the spot?
Absolutely.
Can I?
Yes.
Pro 2.
Mikey is dialed in on this track. Our tires work really well on this track. Chris is kind of throwing a little wild card in here a little bit. The track conditions are dissimilar to what they were the first time we were here in June, but we still got game for that.
Okay. Pro Light,
Sean, the perennial favorite, right? I mean, Sean loves
the Leper Sean.
He loves battling from behind and working his way. But the first race, he started on the pole here for the first race, so he's won here before. Sean's a consummate professional. He's a wheelman, so we'll see what happens.
So if he ends up on the podium today, what kind of hat does he have?
That's top secret. We can't let that one out of the bag.
Sean is always, when he's on the podium, he always comes out with a crazy, goofy, oversized hat. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got up his sleeve this week.
We definitely want to amp it up. We got the hat wars going. Hopefully Kyle Kleinman brings some game this weekend as well. With the hats. Just the hats, nothing else.
All right. You got me on that one. Okay. You know what, Mike? Again, thank you for coming up here this weekend.
Hey, thanks for having me, Scott. I appreciate it.
Congratulations on the Kenda Tire Finals. It's going to be neat to see how this whole thing comes together, and wish you guys all the best of luck here.
Awesome. Good luck to everyone else, too. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Kenda Mike. Well, you know what, race fans? Since we're on the subject of Kenda, check this out.
Designed for your journey.
Well, ERX, we are out for another race. Super Buggy is out on the track in the starting grid. All 6 cars on the pole. The number 18, Steve Creeman. Alongside of Creeman, the number 9 of Michael Hester. Starting in the 3rd spot, Ryan Schwabe in the number 2. In the 4th position, right alongside of Ryan, his father, Scott Schwabe, in the 29. Mark Steinhardt in the number 31 in the 5th spot, and rounding out our top 6, Michael Meister, which is very, very, very fast car. And watch as he tries to work that Ponzi car up towards the front. Once again, the starting line as Richie Kuloff brings them around, and as they take this left-hand turn, the green flag will be flying in between the 2 TORC banners as they crest that first tabletop. Looks like Creeman got a little bit of an edge on the start. Hester goes really wide, hits the K-rail, shears off a left front tire as you see her running it down, rolling right down the hill. Man, his own mistake, pushing just a little wide, got into the mud and sheared that left front right off. There's a good look, as we talked about all day long, that split lane section as the full course caution is out. You've seen Hester lose a front tire, and they're going to probably restart this whole race. We did not get a lap in yet. Steve Creeman going to bring him back around, and Richie Kuloff will probably pick him up with the pace truck here shortly. Yeah, there's Michael Hester with no left front tire. It's just sheared off as he hit that K-rail, and we all know that those concrete K-rails do not move in any form of way. When you blow through the turn like that, he had nowhere else to go. It kind of just collected him and ended his day. So as we're waiting to get the restart, track crew is gonna get Hester out in that number 9 car, pull him out of the way and get him in a safe spot for this start of this Super Buggy race. We didn't make one full lap, so we're gonna come around again and take the green flag here shortly. So once again, the car's right on your screen. Steve Creeman in the 18, Ryan Schwabe in the number 2, Scott Schwabe in the number 29, Mark Steinhardt in the 31, and Michael Meister in the 6th spot. Michael Hester is not going to restart this first part of the race, actually, because once again, we've seen the track crew is pulling him off the track, and our super buggies are going to take one more lap around before we go green. Track really shaping up to be beautiful here in the second part of the day. Here we got the pros coming out later on. Pro Stock, Pro Mod, Pro Light, Pro 2, Pro 4, all coming at you after these Sportsman classes. We've seen a little rain earlier today as that passed through, and as of right now, other than the couple of puddles in the infield, the track, you would not think that we had that essential amount of rain. We will be going back to green, this time by. Creeman, Schwabe, Steinhardt, Meister. Green flags out, here we go. Ryan Schwabe trying to look to the inside of Scott Schwabe. Scott has the run on the outside. Steve Creeman in the 18, taking that left-hander going towards the split lanes. Creeman goes to the top, Schwabe to the bottom. Ryan Schwabe going to the top. Scott Schwabe trying to get a run on Creeman. Going through the rhythm sections, kicking the cars left and right, back and forth, upsetting the cars. And there goes Schwabe. Schwabe takes the lead. Scott Schwabe in the number 29. Pushes just a little bit wide. And here comes Michael Meister. Meister in the 94, trying to get a run. Meister setting that car up in the air, trying to get it rotated. As they head back towards the back turn. And once again, it'll be interesting to see. Where will Schwabe go? Where will Meister go? They both head to the outside, as we've heard from a lot of different drivers and a lot of competitors that outside usually stays a little bit better than that bottom. Going through 1, 2, 3, all 6 of those rhythm section jumps as they added another one in the back by Talladega turn. That is a cool shot, as you see it from the back end. They dropping off into plain daylight, just dropping right off, no backside. You can see there's Mark Steinhardt in the 3rd spot, about 10, 12 car lengths back. Mark Steinhardt, former single buggy driver, countless years in the single buggy class, now moving up into the super buggy class as we look at our leaders. Scott Schwabe trying to still maintain the lead. Steinhardt in 3rd. Ryan Schwabe in the number 2, climbing the finish line jump. Meister outside, inside, trying to get a grip on that bottom, and does. They're going to be side by side, coming in front of the crowd. Schwabe with a little bit of an edge, but he does have that inside line. Schwabe still maintaining the lead, about 2 car lengths back to Michael Meister. And you'll watch Michael Meister here in this first half of the race, trying to figure out where his car might be a little bit better, or where is Schwabe's car better, so he can try to put his second half of the race together and get that win. Here comes the Ponzi back, super buggy down to the bottom. Going towards the finish line jump as they drop off. Later on, you'll see that 100, 200 marker. As we get going throughout the day, the truck classes are going to go a little bit farther and a little bit more horsepower. Meister in the Ponzi back 94, picking his way through this tough layout here at ERX. Meister running that outside cushion, trying to carry the momentum through those turns. He goes to the top side, as does Schwabe. Steinhardt running the bottom, going into the split section, coming through the rhythm section before the start-finish line. And there's the competition caution. The competition caution's out. We'll reset the field, and again, we have another 7 laps after this. And you'll see in front of the crowd those 2 white flags, the AMSOIL flags, before the tabletop. Our leader, Michael Meister, will get an opportunity like you've seen earlier in the races, or if you just showed up, Michael Meister will have the opportunity to take the lead. And when he has the lead in the second half, he can start from that first flag to that second flag. So it's a very, very big guessing game for the second, third, fourth on back. Richie Kuloff bringing them back towards the restart here shortly as they go in the back section. As you can see, they're going through those split lanes. We talk about them time and time again. It is going to be the deciding factor later on. You watch throughout these classes. And at the last second, you have to make a decision. Are you going to the top side or are you going to the bottom? Good look at Mark Steinhardt, Ryan Schwabe, Steve Creeman, the guy that started on the pole in the 18 has found himself back in the 5th spot. So Meister will bring the field. It's Michael Meister, Scott Schwabe, Mark Steinhardt, Ryan Schwabe. And here we're going great. He took off right away. Michael Meister's been very, very dominant here in the TORC Series in 2017 and finds himself out front once again here at ERX. Well, it looked like Meister might have missed a shift just for a little bit, but he still maintains about a 3-4 lane car.
Yeah, you mentioned the fact that he's been so dominant all season long. This is one young man right here. Again, another one of the young guns. I really feel that he needs to step up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he is.
What's he going to go into? Is he going to go into Pro Light? Probably. But I'd like to see him go right into a Pro too, the way things are going.
Yeah, these cars are quick. I mean, they have the travel, they have everything, and he knows how to drive a car, and it wouldn't take him very long to figure out a Pro 2, I can guarantee you that.
And then Steve Creeman out there in the number 18 out of Arlington Heights, Illinois, easily the oldest car in the field, going all the way back to probably mid-90s, I want to say.
Mark Steinhardt trying to work on Ryan Schwabe, or Scott Schwabe, in the 29. Man, I love that shot when they sit right behind that finish line jump, just drops off into midair.
Yeah, those two drivers have raced all over the country their entire career, all the way up into Canada, have raced that Montreal Stadium Series year after year, have been teammates, and now they're racing against each other.
Steinhardt gets one good run out of the front section after the tabletop. Be interesting to see if he can drive it down on the bottom and see what side does he go. Does he go Yep, he follows the leader right through the top. He follows our Scott Schwabe in the 29. As you can see, Scott, see how sandy that section's getting.
Yeah, these cars are so setup sensitive. You can be off just a little bit, shock valving, the wrong spring rate, even the tire grooving, and you could just be all of a sudden just like that, a 6th or 7th place car instead of being up front. And that's what's making Michael Meister so good right now, is the fact he knows how to set up a car. And the scary part is, you and I have talked about this earlier this season, he's learned how to set up this car, his race car, by racing RC trucks.
Yeah.
That's how he's learned about shocks, springs, and valving, and the such.
It's crazy, though, how much those cars in trucks, they react the same as these Super Buggies, Pro Light, Pro 2, Pro 4. It's all the same strategies of how to make those cars work.
Mark Steiner takes a look at the inside. He makes the pass. And yeah, Steiner's now moved up one spot. After about 2 laps, maybe 3 laps, to try to get around Schwabe, he finally has. So now it's Meister, Steinhardt, and Schwabe running 1, 2, and 3. And all this right at the white flag lap. This has turned into another dominant day for Michael Meister. Hanging out with the kid, talking to him, you would never guess he's a race car driver.
I know, he's so laid back, just chill.
But he doesn't have that look of a race car driver, you know? Like he should be an IT guy or something. And here he goes, adds another one to his career. A race win goes to Michael Meister. The number 94 second will go to a hard-fought second place to Mark Steinhardt, and third will be Scott Schwabe. We're getting our top 3 boys up here to the podium in a moment. We'll be right back with that.
For 41 years, winning drivers in all forms of motorsports have relied on VP Racing Fuels for leading-edge technology to optimize performance and power them to the winner's circle. Now you can get the same benefit with VP Additives, formulated for gas and diesel engines. It's race fuel technology for your daily driver, and the perfect way to clean out your fuel system and put the power back in your drive. VP Additives are available at your local AutoZone store. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Hey, don't forget, if you live in the local area here, make sure and come back to ERX Motor Park on September 30th, where children can ride with a trained professional in dump trucks, dozers, and other big equipment. And a lot of that big equipment we're seeing being used here today to get this racetrack in racing condition. But, you know, I've seen this in a couple other places, but from what I hear, this draws a lot of people here to ERX Motor Park Make sure and remember that September 30th, be here for Day of the Dozers. Yeah, this is what's one of the cool things. ERX Grassroots Snowcross. If you're kind of a gearhead and you've never been to a snowcross race, you're missing out. You're missing out big time. You got to come here, and they run a full season from December to March. Actually, the racetrack is right up there by the road, by the highway. And when you come in, you go right by it. But Grassroots Snowcross Series starting December 14th. Well, our boys are working their way up to the podium. And Mark Steinhardt, over his career, has been to the podium so many times. I am very surprised he's this slow getting to it. It's kind of like, oh, here we go again.
Another podium.
I wonder what his trophy room looks like, or trophy shop, trophy garage.
Yeah, it's
trophy vault.
As long as all the way back from when I was a kid, me and my brother always remember that name, Steinhardt, all the time. So it's cool to see him back up on the podium once again in Super Buggy.
There's what the drivers see when they round that Talladega turn aimed at the Amsoil finish line. All you see is a treetop off in the distance. That's all you could see. It's a pretty good incline too. They added a lot of dirt, brought in a lot of dirt for the takeoff, the kicker area, and on the landing this week. And
you think we're going to see 200 this weekend?
Oh yeah, we were seeing that yesterday in practice.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. That's what everybody comes to see how far these trucks and how well they can take that landing too. I mean, we've seen them over and over again where they might overshoot a truck and the suspension might blow out, but you watch later today, watch the Pro Light, Pro 2, Pro 4s. They will just send it off that hill.
Well, it's definitely warming up out there, huh?
Oh.
Just a reminder, everybody, keep yourselves hydrated, drink lots of water and Gatorade this afternoon. Let's now meet our top 3 finishers in the Super Buggy division. As I look at our lineup, I'd have to say this guy right here has been doing this longer than anybody else in this class. Number 29 has added another podium finish to his career, finishing 3rd, Scott Schwabe.
Scott, it's always good to see you up here. Just had a quick chance to talk over you there about the new last jump that they added into the rhythm section, making it 6 jumps. How difficult is that now from when we were here in round 3?
Well, yeah, there was a difference. In fact, my car wasn't the great in the spring, so we made some suspension changes, and it wasn't all that much better. When they threw in that extra one, yeah, it makes it interesting. That's a good thing to do.
Well, you've done a great job. Who would you like to thank today?
We just had to thank Amsoil and Mountain Dew and my crew that gets me up here.
Well, you've done it once again. Can't wait to see what we have in store for Saturday and Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you.
And taking that 2nd spot, he has raced all over the country in multiple buggy classes. He's raced in Canada, and he's won races there. And he's on the podium here one more time, the 31 of Mark Steinhardt.
Mark, impressive move on that last lap, coming through right over there at the finish line. Explain what you were thinking about, and we were just chatting because you know, talking about I got to make that pass. So how many laps did you try to figure that out before you're like, I got to do it now?
Well, Scott's a KG veteran, so I knew he wasn't going to just give me a position. So I followed him on the outside like 2 laps before that, and I could gain on him. And I thought, well, he's slower through here than I am. So I knew the inside line through the split rhythm the split section wasn't as fast, but I was hoping I could carry more speed through the rhythm. And I was able to do that and able to make the pass, so it worked out good.
Well, you've done it once again. Who do you want to thank?
I got to thank All Mode, Wash Mart, Laundry Lobby, Rhinelander Fastenal, Amsoil, the Rod End Supply for putting up money for this year, and the Carlsons for, what a phenomenal place, and the track is pretty good yet.
Well, you've done it once again here. Congratulations. Excited for tomorrow.
And taking another win, adding it to his resume. And I know I've bugged him before. I'm going to bug you again. Will you be in a Pro Light or Pro 2 very soon, Michael Meister? Congratulations, your top spot finisher in the Super Buggy division.
Michael, I've asked you that once or twice before, but I have a feeling when that time comes, you're going to let me know first. So congratulations. It's been a great weekend. You're going for that points chase. You got Steiny right behind you. Now that you see what the track has done and where we're going for this, same setup, same combination, changing a little bit?
Yeah, we're going for this championship, second year out. We're just going to hang with Super Buggy right now. I'm having a blast with it. I'm learning how to drive, really. You're shifting, clutch, cutting brake, all that stuff. You're real busy in the car. But, this track was a blast. This was my first time on it this weekend. We didn't get to practice yesterday. But I'm really looking forward. Maybe a little bit in the shocks or something to change something up. But all in all, it was a really fun time. I got to thank Luke Johnson. He stepped up, did my spotting today. He's teaching me a little thing, and that was really good. But I want to thank my dad, Brad, Caitlin, and all my sponsors, Ponce North America, Michael Meister Logging, Never Lift Apparel, Southside Tire, Vanago, Revolution Raceway, Hobbytown, 920 Designs, and VP Fuel. And thank you, everybody that's helped me out the past couple of years so far.
Well, you've done it here. Hop up on number 1. He's been going and going and going, Scott. It's going to be anybody races the next 2 games.
Yep, it's going to be very interesting to round out the season in the next 2 days. Congratulations one more time to our top 3 finishers, Michael Meister, Mark Steinert, and Scott Schwabe. Nice job, guys. We'll be right back after this with a couple more words from our sponsors with some more racing.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Trailblade Tires, the weapon of choice for wherever you want to go.
For 41 years, winning drivers in all forms of motorsports have relied on VP Racing Fuels for leading-edge technology to optimize performance and power them to the winner's circle. Now you can get the same benefit with VP Mattitips, formulated for gas and diesel engines. It's race fuel technology for your daily driver and the perfect way to clean out your fuel system and put the power back in your drive. VP Mattitips are available at your local AutoZone store. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com.
Well, race fans, it's always a good thing to stay active on the social medias and in contact with TORC, because earlier this year we had a cool thing happen in Bark River, and earlier today you saw the results of being active on social medias, and we had a contest winner go out on the racetrack with a ride with Johnny Greaves. Well, earlier this year in Bark River, we had another winner do something really cool, this time with Ricky Johnson, one of the cool components of being involved in following the TORC series.
I'll tell you guys, that experience riding with Ricky Johnson blew my mind away. You think it looks fast watching it? Be in the driver's seat and the passenger seat for me, man, it was unbelievable. These guys take huge jumps. It is like nothing I've ever seen before. I was strapped in a NASCAR, drove 170. This is 10 times the excitement that NASCAR ever was, man. This TORC series is for real. Love it. Everyone's so humble. Ricky was so great. It was an awesome experience and one I'll never forget. Thank you, TORC, and thank you, Ricky Johnson. Appreciate it. Blows my mind. Wow. That kicks ass.
Yeah, I can't add anything to that. Well, there's a great shot of our next race here in the Sportsman series, and oftentimes it's one of the coolest races that's out there on the racetrack, and it's the youngest drivers, the smallest drivers in the entire TORC series, and it's the short course kart kids. And, man, they put on a pretty damn good show. We got both girls and boys out there running against each other as well. And I don't know, where's Carter Vandernoevel? He hasn't showed up here yet. I don't know if I haven't seen him. Yeah, school season has started, so maybe he's not here. Maybe he's actually in school. I don't know.
Yep, Grandpa must have made him stay home. Or
hey,
maybe he could be coming up tomorrow.
Hey, I just see Rodney Van Eperen here. Hey, Rodney, you're looking like you're 90, but I'm glad you're here at the track, man. It's good seeing you, bud. He was out motocross riding about a week or so ago, I think it was, trying to keep up with Johnny, and you should know better. You should know better than that, trying to keep up with Johnny Greaves on a motocross bike. But you did it anyways, and ended up, spending 1 or 2 nights in the hospital? Whoa, 7? What the hell? Bet you ain't going to be doing that again, huh?
Oh, yeah, he says.
But it's good to see one of our drivers in the Pro UTV class here, even though he spent a week in the hospital playing around with Johnny Greaves' motocross track. Yeah, wow. Even I know better than that. I'll take pictures before I'll go try to race him.
We can call it training, though. He was just training better to...
Learning how to crash harder.
Yeah, right?
Faster.
Hey, it's seat time.
Oh, here we go. Just got a message from the Dutchman. That's another thing you got to love about social media. You heard me call him out. Carter's on his way. Won't make the race. So he must be on his way here.
He'll be here for tomorrow.
Driving here, but not here at the track right now. It's okay.
We'll let him slide this time.
Yeah, you're fired. But, man, it's like we watch, look at these dozers out here just pushing that dirt around and all this cat equipment. This track is going to be probably the best shape we've had all morning long right now for the short course karts.
It is. It's a very nice track. It's nice. I mean, you can look at all the graders and the dozers, the Bobcats. They're taking all that dirt and turning it up and making it a nice hard packed surface and trying to keep that fluffy, sandy soil in and trying to make it a, the best possible racetrack.
Oh, are you ready for this? Hang on to this. Because of social media, I just got a message off of Facebook of a picture of Carter sitting in the back seat of a truck watching us on his cell phone, letting us know that he's on his way here.
What's up, Carter?
Oh, man. Thanks, Mike, for sending that. Okay, that's one way of putting it. I guess I am replaceable, huh?
We both are, I guess. No, he does an awesome job. All those short grade karts, they're all his buddies and friends, and he knows every one of those guys, and it's
walking
cool.
encyclopedia of short course karts. His grandpa is one of the guys that spearheaded this whole thing to get it going. Basically, I mean, I can't think of an easier way to put it in layman's terms other than the fact that it's a 14 horsepower, 15 horsepower go-kart with 20 inches of travel.
It's crazy.
You know, But the kids are in there with a 5-point harness, a head and neck restraints, fireproof shoes, gloves, fire suit, full helmet.
Yeah, they have everything.
I mean,
everyone.
You take the body off one of those things, it looks like a pro too.
It does, and it's awesome to see all those young kids. And like we were talking about, the young guns, these are the stepping stone of our sport. And I can guarantee you 25-30% of those cars in the future are going to be racers that are going to go in our light buggy, our single buggy, our Pro 2, Pro 4s. And it is cool to see all those cars. And once again, like you said, with the bodies off, I mean, these guys prep these cars. They put them up on jack stands just like you go through the pits after today and go get autographs and body panels, and they'll be wiping down the tin. It depends on what time of night. At Crandon, we had a little evening race there, and we were all wondering if they all had to go to bed. It was close to 8, 9 o'clock at night, and those kids are amped to just be out here on the same track as your Pro Light, Pro 2, Pro 4 drivers.
Yeah, they've been sitting in those trucks for a little while now, so I think I just saw one jump out of a truck and head off into the woods.
He's getting some shade.
But, Mommy, I gotta go. Gotta love those treetops. There's a shot of the tight hairpin turn that's to the right of us, and as you go from left to right through that turn, that's a really nice shot of being able to look at that split lane. You can almost tell right where the sand starts.
Yeah, you can see the colors,
yeah,
different colors of
dirt. Yeah, it
dirt.
gets to be a light tan, and you see that dirt wall down the middle, and that's where you can kind of see where dog legs goes to the right, then all of a sudden it turns to the left on the inside line. You can see the inside of that dog leg to the left. That's where it used to be more straight.
Yeah, it
was
used to
straighter
taper
there.
a little bit earlier than that. Yeah, you can see that.
And so they added that, made it more of a dog leg to kind of even it out just a little bit more. But right now it's at a point where what's going to decide which lane is faster than the other is how many times that lane has been used. The more it's been used, the slower it's going to be. So that's like we talked about earlier, where the spotters are going to be very intricate, or a very intricate part of that part of the racetrack.
Yeah, those eyes in the sky above us, they can see, hey guys, this track is starting to deteriorate a little bit on the inside. Try to work that outside, and you'll see early on in the race, a couple guys will try that inside, and then as the race continues and that dirt just comes up and it starts deteriorating, you get into that sandy, really loamy soil, they're going to try to stretch.
If you thought I was kidding about getting a text message off of Facebook about Carter Vanderbilt coming here, on his way here right now, helping us out tomorrow afternoon, here, right there, how about that? He's sitting there in the back seat. He's watching us live on his cell phone and wanted to message us that he's on his way.
Just killing him.
Yeah, yeah. But thanks a lot, Carter and Mike Garvin, for sending us that message. He's a rock star and he doesn't even know it. Hey, I want to remind everybody once again, they're going to be doing this all over again tomorrow and Sunday. This is a makeup round from the Sunday race earlier when we were here in June. And we understand it's Friday. Most of the people, normal people, are working.
Hey, we're working too.
Have real jobs. I don't know what we got, but this is...
It's a job.
I guess. According to my wife. Yeah, whatever.
According to my wife.
But here comes the last Sportsman race of the afternoon as we get ready to go pro racing from this point on. Here's our lineup of short course karts. Starting in that front row, we've got Hope Conrad and Mike Funk. Hey, his dad just won a race earlier ago. Mike was out there with him. I met him on the track. But Mike Funk, number 7, he'll be starting the front row. Row 2, Braden Beauchamp. And then 20, starting alongside Zachary Rohanowicz in the 31. Row 3 inside. We've got Troy Johnson in the 11 and Gavin Oldenfent in the 411. Row 4 inside, Kennedy Marquardt in the 90, John Holcher in the 44. Row 5 inside, Paige Rohanowicz in the 5, Easton Sleeper in the 13. Row 6 inside, Sam Marquardt in the 190 and Owen Van Epren in the 45. Row 7 inside, Aiden Wandasiga in the 97 and Antonio Iglesias in the 8. Row 8 inside, Porter Iglesias in the number 1 and Trevor Shunk in the 88 and Tyler Fleming starting all by himself in the 17th spot in the number 9. You know, one of the coolest things that I like to look through the crowd every once in a while, and I see the fans sitting in their lawn chairs, kind of kicking back and relaxing and getting ready for the next race to come out here. And I look down and I see Nate Dogg sitting there all by himself, or with a buddy of his. I love that man at the racetrack. You know what? When I see him there, I know the drivers are being taken care of.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. He's always taking care of other people, and take care of yourself. Keep your fluids in you.
Yeah.
And yeah, there you go.
That's not what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about H2O, buddy. Water.
The godfather of the off-road fraternity right there, Nate Dogg. Slower. But
sounds like they're already wide.
Yeah.
We're under green.
Turn them loose. Their pace lap was race speed. Gavin Oldenfent making contact with Funk there, about 3rd and 4th spot, going into turn 1. Dude, that just freaked me out.
Zach Rohanowicz takes over the lead.
Boys, everybody going? Nope.
Did you see that? One of them wanted to go to that
it's like
inside.
Watching a school of fish in a fish tank.
Who's going where? Zach Rohanowicz out front.
He started back in the 4th spot, outside of row 2. Trying to make a 4 wide for 2nd place, and they have. This isn't a parade lap, guys.
See, we said earlier we will see 4 wide, and here we are. Paige Rohanowicz on the outside, going up on that hill. Underneath the TORC AMSOIL banner, the finish line. Side by side. Is that Easton Sleeper?
Yeah, Sleeper's on the inside. And it looks like he has 2nd.
Oh, we have a car over. Car over. Troy Johnson. And I can't get a number off. There's a red truck over just on the other side of the tabletop. I think it was incidental contact. Troy Johnson didn't do anything to tip him over. It's hard to see on that side.
So it looks like, are we going full course yellow? So it looks like we're going full course yellow. And Richie Kuloff is out there, our pace vehicle driver in the 2017 Yamaha YXZ, all rigged up with the safety lights and such. Courtesy of Nielsen Enterprises out of the Chicago area. That didn't take long. So, completed lap, or actually that would be a restart. And everyone would retake the positions that they started in. So it's going to be scored as if it never even started. Tough break for Easton Sleepers. He was, let's see, how are they scoring this? So it looks like we're back to green flag racing. As Rahanowitz and Sleeper are now battling for the top spot one more time. Sleeper goes to the outside, heading into that backstretch. And it looks like he has the spot, and does.
Yeah, Easton Sleeper made a good run in front of the crowd there and taking over in that number 13 multicam truck.
Yeah, he really looks up to Luke Johnson. And Luke has actually helped him quite a bit, too, with the do's and don'ts and the ideas and things like that, and kind of mentoring Easton. So he kind of wants to make his truck look like Luke's.
Yeah.
And I think Luke's going to have a surprise for everybody when he comes out with his new body color scheme. That's going to be cool to see.
Zach Rahanowitz in second, Paige Rahanowitz in third. Both the Rahanowitz, Zach, and Paige having a good run today here at ERX.
Owen Van Epperen back there in fourth spot. About a lap or so ago, he was battling for the top spot and had to check up multiple times. Couldn't get around the 4-5 wide battle that was going on at the time. Easton pulling away a little bit, about 15 mini truck lengths separation. Van Epperen gets a good run coming off that right-hand bank turn. Makes the pass on Rahanowitz, on Paige Rahanowitz, and now finds himself in that third spot.
Your top four are all spread out. 5, 6, maybe 10 car lengths for Easton Sleeper. Zach Rahanowitz in third or second. Van Epperen moving into third in the 45.
Yeah, Easton's pulling away fairly easily, but then you got Van Epperen reeling in Rahanowitz for that second spot. Kind of makes you wonder how fast Van Epperen is compared to Sleeper. Man, best lap time by Easton Sleeper was on this last lap of the 129.67. Can't remember that, 6.7. Owen Van Epperen's best lap was also on this last lap of the 129.71.
Wow.
So Easton's just a tick quicker right now than Van Epperen.
Yeah, Easton Sleeper all out, all by himself out in that lead. Always has been a great driver throughout the 2017 season. And here, Van Epperen goes to the outside in the split lane. Zach Rahanowitz on the inside. We'll see.
Yeah, he made a great run going into the corner on Rahanowitz, and they both kind of like, okay, what lane do you go into? They kind of do that side-by-side thing, and here we go. Van Epperen comes out with the advantage. Two laps remaining this time by. Boy, is there time? Who knows?
Yeah, Owen Van Epperen just got to keep picking away, just run his line, and You know, Easton Sleeper is trying to find the fastest way around still as he's out in the lead, and there is a big gap back to Rahanowitz and Van Eperen. As you can see, the number 13 multi-cam truck out front. Zach Rahanowitz is not going away. He's staying right alongside of Owen Van Eperen in the 45, so maybe Zach has figured out a couple faster lines that Van Eperen's been showing him the past couple laps.
You know, on a track like this, too, they really don't have to lift. It's just to the floor the whole race, and with situations like that, you know that the belt is, you know, slipping in the clutch a little bit.
Yeah.
It's getting hot. And
it's hard on him. Those uphills, those big inclines are just crazy as you see Easton Sleeper crawling up on the finish line turn. White flag out for Easton Sleeper one more time around here at ERX. Van Eperen still holding off Zach Rahanowitz.
nice smooth turn by Owen Van Eperen. Didn't scrub off a whole lot of speed, if any at all. Let the truck drift out a little bit and kept it under acceleration.
Like I said earlier, Easton Sleeper, he's been pretty much in a league of his own this year. When he's gotten out front, he's pretty much never looked back. We had Braden Beauchamp back at Crandon that got a win for the ring race, but Easton, he's calm, cool, and collect as a young kid, and it's fun to say that because he's actually developing very, very well. And like you said, Luke Johnson's mentoring him and making sure he's doing the right things. At the young age he is, it is a great opportunity for Luke to give him some pointers and make him a better race car driver.
Yeah, on this last lap, obviously Easton's out front. Owen Van Eperen, Zach Rahanowitz, Paige Rahanowitz, and Hope Conrad on the top five. How about that? We got two young ladies up there in the top five. As the checkered flag comes out, and another win for Easton Sleeper. Second to Owen Van Eperen. Third will be the 31 of Zachary Rahanowitz. Paige Rahanowitz will come around in that fourth spot. Hope Conrad, hopefully will hang on for fifth. Yep, there she is. We're going to get our top three kids up here in a moment. We'll be right back after this.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Designed for your journey.
For 41 years, winning drivers in all forms of motorsports have relied on VP Racing Fuels for leading-edge technology to optimize performance and power them to the winner's circle. Now you can get the same benefit with VP Additives, formulated for gas and diesel engines. It's race fuel technology for your daily driver and the perfect way to clean out your fuel system and put the power back in your drive. VP Additives are available at your local AutoZone store. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com.
Well, there's our top 3 finishers and their parents. All down there at the podium. Or I should say working their way to the podium. Well, race fans, let's now meet our top 3 in the short course karts. In that 3rd spot, in that 31, battle for the lead early on in this race, it's Zachary Werhanowitz.
Highest podium of the season, and you've done it here at ERX. I ask everybody in one word, how are you feeling and who do you want to thank?
I'm feeling awesome today. I would like to thank my mom, my dad, and my sisters.
Well, you've done a great job. High five on that highest podium. You got 2 more rounds. I know with this confidence, it's going to give you the confidence to go into Saturday and Sunday. Congratulations.
And taking that second spot, the 45 multi-time class champion, Owen Van Eperen.
Owen, you had 3 laps to go, and right at that split lane, you made a last-second decision to take that outside. Why did you do that?
I seen everybody else taking that line, and they were pretty equal.
Well, it seems like you've done it, and you got that speed, and I know you're going to the points chase. Who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank Yamaha and Yamaha Power Sport 1, Holter Brothers, Never Let Victory Sign.
Well, you've done it here. Congratulations. Nice job.
And how about this? Another win. I tell you right now, it's got to be the shoes. They special ordered these shoes beginning of the season. He had them just at the last moment before the first race here, but he did it again. It's got to be the shoes. Taking the win, the 13 of Easton Sleeper.
Easton, it seems like you've just been getting faster and faster, and you've been sending it and having that momentum. I know there's a few people that have been helping you along the way. What does it mean to you to have them help you be on top?
It feels great for everybody just to help me. I gotta thank Chris. He was working so hard on my truck. My mom, my dad, my grandma and grandpa, Mason. I gotta thank High Roller Motorsports, Rhinelander GM Auto Gear, Multicam, Luke Johnson Motorsports. Amsoil and all his sponsors.
Nice job here. What a great run, everybody. One more round of applause for these guys, and back up to you.
Well, thanks a lot, Tiff, and congratulations to those top 3 finishers in the short course carts. Once again, it's Easton Sleeper, Owen Van Eperen, and Zachary Rahanowitz. Nice job, guys. Well, we had a great time here this morning bringing you all the Sportsman racing action. Brent, what'd you think?
Oh, it was amazing. After seeing all that rain that came earlier on this morning and to have a great track, you have to stay tuned. It's only going to get better.
Yeah, we got perfect track conditions right now. Who would have thunk it? You know what? We'll be back here at 2:30. We're going to sign off right now, but come back at 2:30 at TORCseries.com or YouTube.com. We'll be right back with Pro Racing coming up next.
Pro 2 has been a dream of mine for a very long time. I'm excited to join the class full-time in 2017.
Hopefully we can get the Pro 4 out and mix it up with the Greaves and whoever else wants to come do some battle.
We're going to be getting more tracks in the water truck, going for championships.
At the end of the day, you want to be the guy that when everybody shows up to the racetrack, I want everybody to say, this weekend I know I have to beat Kyle Hart. And to be able to get that name, you have to go and prove yourself and win races and be the fastest guy. I'm not going to quit until I'm there.
The overall future for off-road, it looks really good. We finally have a stepping stone of young guys coming up. It's going to be one hell of a season.